My name is Adedina.
I'm Melvin Yagaka.
And we are Cream. Chelsea was everything around me. After 5 months, Melvin's finally back.
No, I had to, go take care of some issues.
My son has to be in summer school. He has to be responsible for once. But now that he's back, he came back the perfect week or the worst week to come back. Premier League is finally back. I was very excited. I was talking shit last week. United's trash. Nine may not even make top 6. We're going to spank them. And now we're here. But in the meanwhile, I am welcome to introduce Ephraim. Ephraim is honestly, I don't know why he's not been on the podcast yet. There's actually one person who's never been on the podcast. I'm like, why has he never been on the podcast? Probably Ephraim. He came in very angry. I don't know why. I think he should take a chill pill.
I'm pressed.
Your team won. Why you mad?
I'm hella pressed.
Hey man, speak up. Why you pressed?
I've been wanting to slap Melvin upside his fucking head for about a week now. Since I heard, for about 2 months since I heard all that blasphemy. but it's okay. I'm here to make shit right again.
All right,
bring balance.
Takes. You didn't agree with them, so
okay. Do you want to address why you have a problem with him first, or you want to talk about what happened this past weekend?
Well, let's just get that out the way because it's old news.
Okay.
And it's mainly your takes on Messi, man. Messi's not the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
He is the GOAT.
Who's the GOAT?
Cristiano.
Okay. Next topic. What else do you have a problem with? Because we're not going to discuss this, no.
Uh-huh.
Besides that, I'm always have a problem with Melvin because he's a Chelsea fan. That's staple.
You also said something about the Ben Simmons you talked about something about Steven. When Steven was up here with the Raptors, you have a problem
I heard
with.
You said something about like Steven and
the
Kawhi.
Raptors.
No. It was just all of y'all's takes on winners and losers for free agency, and some guy saying that dude that was real big on the rookies, like, but did you know that they got this? When was the last time a rookie affected a winning squad?
That's what I said.
Like, shut the mans was like, oh, you don't even watch college basketball, so. Name the last 5 number 1 picks and what have they done? Fuck, I'm not taking no rookie into account when I'm judging winners and losers.
Look, he was last year's number 1 pick. DeAndre Ayton.
Mm-hmm.
God, could you imagine? What has he done?
It was 2018. Who was 2018? Sorry, who was 2017?
Markelle Fultz.
Oh, it just gets worse. It gets worse.
2016.
It was Ben Simmons, right?
Yeah, it was Ben Simmons.
Yeah, it was Ben Simmons.
No, it wasn't Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons won. Okay, yeah, it was Ben Simmons.
It was Ben Simmons because he won Rookie of the Year after.
That's yikes.
No, but
even the best rookies, they'll make deep playoff runs, but they're not changing your life. Mm-hmm. They're not making shit better. Since LeBron, like that's it. And even he didn't have that much of an impact on the Cavs right away. Like, because
low key, what I'm starting to realize is like, I'd be like mad when we don't get like as a Bulls fan. Like, we've been tanking for 3 years now, 4 years now. God, we've been 7th pick 3 times in a row, and I'm like, why can't we at least get like a top 4? More I realize it, I'm like,
building through the draft is about the silliest thing you can possibly do.
I would just say like, at the end of the day, it's literally like 60% luck of like who is going to come out, because we got Lauri Markkanen in the 7th pick, and I would pick him over 6 of the people that came before him.
Right.
I'll say it's even less percentage in terms of luck. Because even still, they have to have more than just one person who's good.
What do you mean?
You got to have like 3-4 people you get lucky with.
Yeah, you have to keep hitting in the draft. Yeah. Like, people look at Golden State.
No, I'm just saying like year to year, like the chance of like that person actually like being like number 1, like the number 1 pick, you must be like the best.
That's what I'm saying.
Player.
You got to get lucky every single year.
Like low key, because
even if you look at the best players from each draft, is this hard for you to say like
last year the best pick was the 2nd and the 5th one, Trae Young and Luka.
And then if you have like, let's say if you have like the best players from each draft, put them on one team, they're probably still not gonna win a championship. So
yeah, that's
facts.
I
mean, that doesn't really mean anything.
That's facts.
I'm just saying, like, you're not gonna win right away like that.
It's just not gonna change your life as quickly as people think it is.
I just don't get like, they got this guy in the 2nd round, he's a steal. I'm like, hey,
all right,
I'm not gonna lie, it's okay a reason why he was in the 2nd round.
Yeah. I mean, people look at like the Raptors from this year and like they didn't have a top 15 pick on their entire roster and they won the league. They won the title. And I mean, that had a lot to do with getting a superstar. That it's a superstar league. Like, you do, like everyone's all like, oh, the Lakers are making a huge mistake trading all this young. Nah, it's a superstar league. Nothing BI does in the next 5 years is going to be worth what Anthony Davis does if they win the championship in the next 2 years. It's a big if, but are you betting against LeBron?
And what if?
Are you betting against? Okay.
Am I betting against a man who has lost 6 times in the finals? Yes.
To a dynasty.
How many times did he lose that dynasty?
3 times.
Which dynasty?
I'm talking about the Warriors. 3 times. He has 3 losses to them.
Why should he have lost? Okay, no, that's 3. Okay.
Besides Dallas, when he was a kid, when he didn't know how to win.
Now he was a kid.
He didn't know how to win.
I don't want to hear that one. Because first of all,
LeBron did not know how to win against Dallas. He hadn't won before.
It had nothing about winning. LeBron James had 3 superstars on that
I understand that, but it was his team.
There's no excuse for you losing.
There's no excuse. So what was Dwayne Wade's excuse? And that's my favorite player.
No, because
LeBron makes people worse on your team.
That's a lie. Could you say in that year that?
How does he get away with that take? LeBron makes players worse.
We're gonna get back to that.
We'll get to that. But what I'm saying is, would you say that year LeBron James was better than Dirk Nowitzki?
LeBron was better than everybody. He's been better than everybody for a long time.
There's no excuse then.
No, the excuse was that he didn't know how to win.
What was the excuse for scoring 0 points in the fourth quarter?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's a mentality thing. He didn't know how to win. And guess what he did during the offseason? He learned how to win, and he came back.
He beat kids.
Also, now they're kids.
KD
was becoming a man.
They didn't know how to win either then.
Exactly, and that's KD's excuse. I'm not holding 2012 against KD. Okay, I'm not holding that against Harden or Westbrook. I still don't agree with you. You got to learn how to win. He went against vets. That Dallas team is probably the most veteran team ever.
LeBron had been in the league for 8 seasons by that time, so I don't want to hear he was young.
And on top
of that, no 8 seasons. Come on, bro.
7 seasons. He came in 2003, right?
That was his first year in Miami, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I want to say 03 to 2011.
2011.
Yeah, it was about 8 years. Okay.
I don't want to hear he was young. 8 years was a long time.
But he didn't know how to win.
Why not? 8 years you don't know how to win. 8 years, almost.
Do you know how many people haven't won a title in 8 years?
It's not about how many people. He was the chosen one.
Do you know when Jordan won his first title? Do we want to get into that?
When he won, how many times did he start losing?
I mean, he never had to go against the dynasty. Come on, man.
Okay, so that's 3. So that's 3.
And I'm not one to say I'm not one to say that LeBron's a GOAT over Jordan. Jordan is over LeBron, but talent wise, LeBron's over Jordan. That's how I've always seen it. Nah. LeBron's a more talented player. Jordan is a greater player.
What do you mean by talent?
Like, look, if you could build the perfect basketball player, you're building LeBron.
No, like I said,
9 times out of 9.
If you want to know what talent is, if you can't shoot free throws with your eyes closed, this dude LeBron can't even shoot free throws straight up.
He can't shoot free throws.
So I don't want to hear.
I don't. How? That's not true though.
He can't. He shoots
like
you
really can't.
70.
LeBron really can't.
On his career, he shoots probably like 74.
That's pretty bad.
That's not bad for a forward.
That's center number.
You're comparing him to guards.
What was Larry Bird's then?
Larry Bird was a shooter.
He was a forward.
Could Larry Bird drive into the lane like LeBron does? Oh hell no! That white boy, he would have got clamped up by LeBron.
Dirk's free throw numbers.
You said what?
Dirk's free throw numbers.
But Dirk is a shooter. You're naming people whose game
so
is tailored to the free throw line.
No, but Jordan wasn't a shooter though.
No, he wasn't.
Late in his career.
No, he wasn't. But
he wasn't a shooter, but he was still more talented.
But he was a guard.
He was like 2 inches shorter than him.
But Jordan was a guard though.
2 inches shorter than him.
So what does guard mean?
But I'm saying like and
2 inches shorter than him.
And in a way, Jordan was a shooter because he relied on the mid range a lot. Jordan was the king of the mid range. Are you kidding me?
It's not about that.
Where did Kobe get that from? Jordan.
I'm just saying, regardless, he can't shoot free throws. No matter what guard.
He can shoot free throws when he needs to.
No, he cannot. He cannot.
There's moments where he needed to make.
No, and I bet you every player has moments like that. Besides like Steph and maybe Clay, like dudes who are like maybe Chris Paul, dudes who are automatic from the line.
Like KD, who's the best player.
KD is not the best player in the world.
What? Who is?
LeBron James. You know when LeBron stops being the best player in the league?
Wait.
When I see visible signs of, and I'm not talking about no injury, I need to see visible signs of him slowing down. LeBron posted 27, 8, and 8, and you know what? KD and Kawhi haven't even posted those kind of numbers, but LeBron is in his down year. Get out of here, man.
You're looking at stats.
Get out of here, man. On top of that, it ain't. What do you mean?
On top of that, defensively,
so is Russ the best?
Tell me what happens to LeBron defensively.
Russ is not the best.
Okay, why? His numbers are. Tell me a guy who could put up triple doubles like that.
But Russ doesn't score like that.
Do you know there was a year he averaged like 30, 10, and 10?
He did not average 30. I don't think Russ has ever averaged 30.
The first time he averaged a triple double.
Russ has never averaged 30.
Go look
I
at
can
it.
say that confidently.
It was a high 20s.
We don't have to look it up. He's
20s.
never averaged 30. Russ cannot give you 30.
It was high 20s.
I'll go this far to say Russ can't score 30 on purpose. He might accidentally get 30 if he gets hot, but he's not an automatic 30.
If he shoots 50 times, he'll score 30.
Which is horrible.
Yeah, but that's on purpose. He'll shoot 50 times.
He's a high volume.
But high volume is an understatement.
And LeBron's very efficient. So you can't compare his stats with
2016, 31.6 points.
A game?
10, yes.
For the entire season?
Yes, for the entire season. That was the first year he
I'm
averaged
eating my
a
words.
triple-double. 10.7 rebounds. 10.4 assists.
I need to
30,
see his
10, and
attempts
10.
per game. No cap.
What was he shooting? He was shooting like
Over and under 45.
He was shooting 42.5.
Oh my God. Say less. But I'm eating my words on that though. But 42 attempts a game.
What I'll say is,
And that was the 1 year they had nobody but him, right? Yeah.
I would
that was
say
like the first year.
I would say
left,
LeBron
right?
doesn't have an excuse for losing twice at least.
Look,
the first time.
No, he has an excuse for every loss besides the Dallas loss.
Yeah.
What about the second Spurs one?
The second Spurs loss?
The second Spurs loss.
That was a good team.
It was the
So
same
what's
team,
the
though.
excuse of losing?
He should have lost both of them, really.
Why
that's
should he
true.
lose?
Miami wasn't a very well constructed team. They were just a team with superstars, and when those superstars started to decline, and it was just LeBron,
If he's a GOAT,
there
he'll
was
make
no
it work.
team. He got You're right. And guess what? There was never a loss besides the Dallas loss where LeBron didn't perform and
Why are you
outperform
losing in
everybody
5
on both
games?
teams.
Why are you losing in 5 games?
If you outperform everybody on both
I
teams,
don't want to see performance. I want to see winning.
Melvin.
That's what
Melvin.
What'd you say about Messi?
But Messi doesn't perform. That's the issue.
No, but what?
Messi doesn't.
So
I
what
called
doesn't
him
perform?
Melsi, huh?
He doesn't perform.
He doesn't perform to the levels that you would hold a GOAT to.
Sometimes.
Every time his back's against the wall. Every time name one time his back has been against the wall. Name one.
What was Messi's stats last season? If he doesn't perform,
Did you ignore the part where I said when his back is against the wall? That's the makings of a GOAT.
Choose though.
You know what? LeBron didn't become a GOAT until he pulled off the 3-1 comeback.
Bro, y'all gotta stop saying
that was a moment because his back was against the wall, and he outperformed both teams.
When they came back 3-1.
Draymond
going out, Bogut and Iggy being out for Game 5, and
Kyrie hitting the shot to win to put.
I won't count that.
People count that shot like people make it seem like he hit a buzzer beater. He hit a shot. There was still several possessions to go. The game was tied. How is that clutch?
That's one of the clutchest shots in the NBA.
You know what's funny? They moved the goalpost so much that when LeBron hits shots while the game's tied, they're like, "Well, it's not clutch because if you miss it, you're just going to overtime anyways." It wasn't clutch. If they were down and it was like seconds left, I'm saying, all right, that's a clutch shot. He hit a shot while the game was tied, largely due to LeBron dropping 40 again.
Wait, how many did Kyrie drop that game?
Dropping 25, I think. No, he dropped 40 back-to-back games.
Okay, so
they both
like Kyrie did. Kyrie dropped 40 also.
He dropped 41 game. Must be nice to only have to turn up for one game a year.
It was one game where they both had 40, right? Or
that was that last game.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay, so he dropped 40.
But LeBron had just dropped 40 back to back.
Okay, but Kyrie dropped 40 that game too.
So his teammates not supposed to do their job. That's Kyrie's only job. It's to score.
No.
He doesn't have to assist. He doesn't have to do nothing else but put the ball in the hole.
You can't just make it seem like LeBron did all by himself when his teammates dropped 40 also.
That was all by himself because he outperformed both teams in every stat, every category.
How do you do all by yourself if your teammate drops 40 points?
Because you outscored him.
Anyways, let's get to the point. What do you have predicted for this season NBA?
I like the Lakers winning the championship because I can't bet against LeBron.
Backtrack. Mm-hmm. When Kevin Love was supposed to come to the Cavaliers, he was arguably the best power forward in the league.
No.
Who was a better power forward than him in 2014?
Well, if you say arguably, I'll give you that. But he wasn't the best. He wasn't like bar none the best power forward.
I can't. Back 5 years ago, I didn't know a better power forward.
He was at least top 3.
I got
top 2.
Nah, he was probably top 3 because he was coming off an injury.
But I'm saying
he was kind of like Kristaps, where like he hadn't played for a while. and you didn't know what you were getting with him.
I mean,
but when he did play, he was a 2020 guy.
2020.
And I remember that.
Remember there was that one game they played against OKC. He had like 40, 20.
But
I think back then Ibaka was pretty highly regarded.
But he was. No, he was. But
he was pretty highly regarded.
Yeah, he was, but he wasn't better than him. I
got to think back to power forwards back then.
5 years ago, there was no power forward better than him. So,
I think Paul Millsap was pretty good because that Atlanta team was really good.
Not better than him though.
People were better than him or equal. There was nobody.
Al Jefferson.
Pretty up there.
Well, he's a center. What's his name? Dude from Zebo from Memphis.
Still no.
Zebo was widely regarded as one of the better power forwards.
But nobody was better than Kevin Love. My point is,
I wouldn't say nobody was better. We got to think back.
You're thinking back. Everybody mentioned nobody's.
Anthony Davis was in the league back then. You remember that?
Anthony Davis came in like 2012.
He was putting up numbers, but
Anthony Davis was in the league back then. Let's be guarded.
But that you're using Anthony Davis of what he is now. Like 2014.
I mean, Anthony Davis was good right off the bat.
He was good, but he wasn't Kevin Love. And I'm saying,
that's kind of disrespectful to say that.
Off the bat, he was not good.
They were arguably in the same ballpark.
Like his potential.
I didn't say he could see his potential, but he wasn't better than him at the time.
I'd argue. I'd like to see the stats.
I'm saying all that to say that Kevin Love was arguably the best power forward at the time. He went to go meet LeBron. Kyrie was at least top 5 point guards. Well,
no,
in and out.
Absolutely not.
In and out.
He wasn't even top 10. That Kyrie was not a top 10 point guard.
2014.
Yes. You're thinking Kyrie now.
Kyrie was in a top 10 point guard at the time.
Well, I say he wasn't top 7.
Wait, so back then we had John Wall, Chris Paul, Russ,
Dame,
Steph. Dame wasn't better than him back then.
Dame has always been better than Kyrie. You are disrespectful.
Dame came in 2013.
I wouldn't say.
What are you talking about?
Didn't Dame come in 2013?
Dame's older than Kyrie.
Wait, when did Dame come in? I'm being serious. Dame came in 2013.
I don't remember when.
I'm pretty sure Dame's older than Kyrie.
Okay.
I'm almost 1,000% sure that Dame's been in the league longer than Kyrie.
Let me fact check this.
Probably.
I'm just gonna fact check.
And there's never been a year where Kyrie was better than Dame besides the year that the Cavs won. It's probably it.
He earned third. He came in 2012. Kyrie came to Damian. He may be older because I think he did all 4 years. I think he did all 4 years. But Kyrie came in 2011. So technically, Kyrie had been in the league longer than him.
All right. But would you say Kyrie was a better point guard than Dame?
Yes.
In 2014?
Yes.
It's arguable.
This was the same. Wasn't this the same 2014 where Dame broke Houston's heart single-handedly?
It was.
This was you're tripping.
Wait, I think that was.
And we're talking about Kyrie, who was like still a prospect back then. He wasn't doing nothing. The Cavs hadn't even made the playoffs. Could you imagine a top 5 point guard whose team had never made the playoffs?
The second best player on the Cavs was Dion Waiters.
Oh, so now that matters?
Yes.
Y'all moved the goalpost so much.
What do you move the goalpost?
Because Dame hasn't had help in years.
I agree with
But Dame has always been looked at, he's an underachiever. Get out of here, man.
Wait, who? But they look at us.
Kyrie was a prospect. He wasn't a top 5 point guard. I'll say that for sure.
So regardless, he was up there at least, right? But back then, at least point guard competition was like bigger. That's when Chris Paul was still good, like that.
John Wall was still good.
So at least point guard competition was a lot like better back then.
I think Jeff Teague was in the conversation back then.
Nah, that's right.
Jeff Teague.
Jeff Teague is so disrespectful.
We're just having a serious conversation. We were literally just having a serious conversation.
Jeff Teague is wildly disrespectful.
A serious conversation. No,
I could have sworn that was that Hawks team that was really good.
And what happened to them?
It wasn't because of no Jeff Teagues.
Huh?
It wasn't because of Jeff.
What happened to them was because they didn't have a superstar.
Yeah, that's
what happens to every team that runs into LeBron. You better come right.
You have a point. Okay, but I'm saying all that to say at least Kyrie was at least top 6.
Are you saying that to say LeBron had a good team?
LeBron had a good team. And
do you realize that team was very top heavy?
And Ephraim,
like every team he's been on.
And Ephraim, he handpicked that team.
He handpicks every team. He's a horrible executive.
What's the excuse when he handpicks the team?
He's a terrible executive. It just goes to show he's never had the structural help that Kobe and Jordan had. No, he's had to do it himself.
No, he doesn't.
All right, who's been the executive that he had that was just so great at their job?
Riley.
Okay, and that Miami team, how did that work out?
Whose fault was that?
LeBron didn't build that
Chris
team.
Bosh didn't. He had like
LeBron didn't build that team.
Chris Bosh had like a missing or something, right?
Do you know why LeBron left? Because they wouldn't let him build the team. That's why he left.
He left and built the team. What did he do? He won one time.
I'm saying he didn't build the team. He never did.
I'm talking about the Cavs.
Well, he had a better success rate at the Cavs than he did at the Heat.
He won one ring in 4 years. He was there 4 years each time, and he
actually, you're right. You're right. It was one. He was 1-3 at the Cavs and 2-2 in Miami.
Yeah,
and that's when he had a better executive. That's my point. And he arguably could have won 3 with Miami.
Then why did he go there then? Whose fault was that?
Why did he go where?
Why did he go back to Cleveland?
Because he had to win one for the hometown. That's what GOATs do. They challenge themselves.
They love him.
If you're a GOAT, you challenge yourself.
Okay, but if a team doesn't respect you, why would you go back?
The city does love him. What are you talking about?
At least the team didn't respect him.
No, Dan Gilbert begged for him to come back.
And then what happened after a while?
He left them.
Dan Gilbert literally had like an angry ass letter after he left again.
That was the first time.
No, I'm talking about even the second time they left on bad. Or is it
him? No. He left on great terms the last time.
No. They left on bad terms. Because remember, wait, who just had the
Cavs tanked them.
Who just had a comment about LeBron like a few?
That was David Griffin.
That's what I meant. David.
But David Griffin's just salty now because they took Anthony Davis right from under him, and he realizes Zion's not going to be who we think he is.
That's a hot take.
That is a hot take.
I don't think
put me on record right now. Zion's not.
Zion's boosted. All he really is just.
All right, I'm not going that far, but he's not going to be who we think. People think he's the next LeBron, the next Jordan, the next transcendent, the next KD.
Because as a number 1 pick, you expect him to be like good enough to carry a team.
I will say people.
In recent years, I think the number 1 pick.
I'm just saying, yes.
He's the best number 1 pick we've had since Anthony Davis.
For now.
In terms of hype, but I don't think he's going to live up to it. That's my point.
I don't think he's gonna live up to it. I agree with you.
I will say people aren't complaining to Jordan. The people are complaining him to LeBron, or they've been comparing him to LeBron since he was like 15, 16.
Yeah, they think he's gonna change lives in the same way that LeBron did, but not even close.
It's all about mentality though. Because
but it's not really because he's not a transcendent talent. He's not a transcendent he's not gonna change your life.
What the talent does he need?
He's not a gifted passer. He's not a gifted passer. He's not a reliable shooter. He's not a reliable shooter. He's not a gifted passer.
You can build on. You can
look at somebody and tell like he could be a good shooter one day.
He's not a lockdown 1-on-1 defender. He's a great help defender.
All defense can be worked on. Shooting can be worked on. Shooting
cannot be worked on.
I said LeBron. Jordan wasn't a great shooter when he first came in.
But shooting wasn't a premium back then. You didn't have to shoot.
But he worked on it, and what happened? He started wetting them hoes.
Nah, just don't be surprised if he doesn't live up to that.
I mean, I'm not surprised anymore after what Markelle Fultz did.
I mean, if you bet on a guard, I feel like you get what you deserve. You can't bet on guards. It's not a guard league.
I will say I expect him to just be a better Blake Griffin for now.
I don't think this is a hot take, but I don't think he'll get up to the levels that Blake got up to because people disrespect Blake, but Blake more than lived up to his hype.
I don't know.
You're talking about individual awards. He did win Rookie of the Year.
I don't know.
Even though he had to sit out.
Dunk contest.
He won several dunk contests.
He won one.
I swear he won 2.
He won the one that
he jumped over the car,
over the hood of a car,
and he was part.
Not even the car, the hood of a car.
That's still pretty hard.
You can probably do that. If you were 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", you should be able to do that.
No. Blake is 6'11".
Oh, okay.
It's still pretty hard though.
It's harder for big guys to jump.
Foot over me.
It's harder for big guys to jump.
No, but it's not just you don't look at just how high. You guys see how far too.
Why do people act like Blake had a underwhelming career?
He literally no, not me. I love Blake Griffin.
Is Blake going to the Hall of Fame?
He needs to lead the Pistons.
Not like tier 1.
There's no tiers in basketball.
I'm just saying like he wouldn't be first
like
choice.
everyone makes the Hall of Fame in basketball.
I would say he suffered from the Clippers underwhelming all those years. The Clippers should have been they should have had a lot
Chris
more
Paul. Chris Paul.
I mean Chris Paul.
It's really Chris Paul though.
You talking about who kills teams?
But
okay.
Probably worse than Russ.
Wait, why do you think that?
Chris Paul is the killer of teams.
Why do you think that? Wait, what did he do in the Clippers?
Because Chris Paul is too aggressive of a leader.
Mm-hmm. And he thinks he knows more than anyone else on the court.
I think who said it best? Matt Barnes on Colin Cowherd. He said that he would have to explain to players what Chris Paul was really trying to say. Because the way he came across was just so brash and so condescending that he would have to all right, this is what he's trying to tell y'all, and then the younger players on the team would get it. And the thing is, he said that it worked because Chris Paul was so good, but now that he's declining as a player, that style absolutely doesn't work because it's you're trash, my guy.
That's what James Harden feels.
James Harden is low key. James Harden is low key a diva as well, though.
Not low key, high key.
Yeah.
If somebody's telling you to play off the ball, which you should be playing, I think you should.
I don't think James Harden doesn't want to play off the ball. I think D'Antoni doesn't want him to play off the ball.
That may be true too.
Because I mean, if we're to like take what Steph said as fact, he approached Steph and said he wanted to play a different system. Mm-hmm. But it's almost like he was being held hostage. He's like, yo, save me! I gotta shoot 40 times a game.
You said no, but I think maybe show to Warriors.
Hey, I honestly thought with all the craziness going on in the offseason, I wasn't gonna be shocked if James Harden found a way to finagle his way on the Warriors.
If that happened, I
was put Draymond and Clay in a package, get him out of here.
No. Keep Clay somehow,
because they're not giving up Clay or Steph, so there's no way that's happening.
I'd give up Steph for James Harden.
And a few first round picks.
That.
Because right now James Harden is on the up, and I argue that Steph is low key on the down. I don't think Steph is reaching the levels that he reached when he was like back-to-back MVPs, including one being unanimous.
I mean, he's getting older.
He was third in points last season.
Can he top those 2 seasons though?
I mean, you can say okay, but his peak was like
retarded.
Okay, no, but you're declining from just being a
whoa. Did you say his peak was GOAT? Steph's never been GOAT levels.
Not GOAT as in like Jordan, but I'm not GOAT as in like I remember 2016 watching Steph like. How are we going to contain this man? Because
he was a team breaker.
Watching what he did to that OKC that game where he passed the half court line
and just launched
1, 2, 3 and he shot it, and not like he like chucked it, like he pure form, and I was like, wait, that's going in.
That is just one game though.
No, but he was
no,
like,
that was a good season.
He was capable of doing that. Mm-hmm. That was the issue, and he's still capable of doing it.
I don't think he's as capable now.
No, he's capable of doing it, just not as consistently.
And back then, he was a lot more disrespectful with his like deep threes. Like he used to just like launch the most.
And teams are starting to like defend those better. That's
but the issue is, if you go on from out there, he's gonna shift you.
But he's so bad going to the rack that and I think and
small.
No, because like he's got that great floater layup package, but. He doesn't have a big man to play off of. Like when Harden drives to the rack.
Now he does.
When Harden drives to the rack and he's got Capella rolling, now you're fucked because he can lay it up, he can dunk it, he can throw a lob. But usually when Steph's going to the cup, Draymond's on the 3-point line. It's a pick and pop. So he suffers going to the rack, and I think. Huh?
Now he has Cauley-Stein.
But now they have to change the entire way that they play. And I don't think Steph's durable. That's the issue.
The thing is, like, now you have an arsenal of things you can do at any time.
But I don't think Steph's durable enough.
He has D'Angelo.
He's always had questions of durability.
He has D'Angelo to facilitate for him now.
I don't think D'Angelo's lasting past the All-Star break.
Oh, bro.
You say he doesn't? Oh, you don't think
he's going to get traded before then?
They got him to trade him. It was very obvious.
Yeah. I mean,
it was really, they would be smart to go.
Really, I think it was like, I mean, we don't get him, so let's see. If it works, then we'll keep him. If it doesn't,
I'm more with that. Yeah. Because I think if Steve Kerr is like really in the lab,
but
very dangerous.
But Steve Kerr, he's low key boosted as a coach.
I don't know about that. He's a really good coach because the way he motivates
the way that he was still able to keep up the Raptors with two of his best players going down is still crazy.
I don't think it was as much of him keeping up with them as it was of like him still having Steph Curry. Because we low key boosted how hobbled the Warriors were. Like you still have to account for Steph and Clay shooting. The only one game where he didn't have Clay,
but it's not like they're 100%.
Just one game,
and then he was out for a majority of the third and the fourth. When the game really matters.
But what I'm saying is like the one game where he truly didn't have help, they got clobbered.
But what did Steph do?
That didn't have anything to do with the coach. As a team, they lost bad.
Steph shot 47.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. We're not talking about Steph. We're talking about Steve Kerr and his schemes,
but if
right?
you look at that team itself without like Clay and KD, they're not really that good of a team.
I mean, but the Raptors aren't that good of a team.
No, they were a pretty good team.
But Kawhi was helpful.
In terms of depth, that are pretty good.
I mean, if you think about it, the Raptors had Kawhi and a bunch of like just a bunch capable like contributors, right?
Pascal was most improved player. He had like 30
after the fact.
They had pretty good players.
Like you
Gasol. They're not bad.
You realize these guys aren't like life changers, right? Like,
no, but that's the thing.
But they're good role players.
Yeah, you don't need life changers when you already.
They were dependable.
They had a lot.
But they had a lot of duds.
I mean, I won't say they're.
I think Ibaka had that 120-point game, and that was it.
I won't say they're duds, but I think they're very good role players. I won't say they were necessarily duds. I would just say.
No, I said they had duds, like in terms of like games where they just didn't perform. Gasol had a bunch of those.
I won't say a bunch.
But if Gasol
had a bunch of like.
But if
dud
Gasol
games.
had a bad game, somebody else would step up.
That's what I'm saying. That's what happens when you have a bunch of role players. Somebody's got to do it.
Golden State didn't, and that's
the Warriors did have good role players.
No, they didn't. Who was stepping up when somebody wasn't? Nobody.
DeMarcus Cousins had a good game.
He had one game, and it was like
he had like a 10 and 11 where he played like 12 minutes.
He
only played like 12 minutes.
But that was literally like the only game he actually like.
Kevon Looney, if he didn't get hurt, he was a good contributor.
You're literally proving a point.
But he played through the pain though. And like Shannon Sharp always says, if you're good enough to be out there, you better be giving something.
He couldn't move his arm. They gave him to go like a morphine shot.
That dude looked like he was going through it.
No, you could see it. I was like, damn.
I'm like, hey, the Warriors are like literally like
low key the worst medical staff.
God,
they were running till the wheels fall off.
They were trying to kill this man. Iggy was going through it.
So that's what I'm saying. They were so now you see really
Sean Livingston was a good contributor. Like, I mean, I feel like the same things you're giving the Raptors credit for is what you're taking away from the Warriors. If your role players just didn't perform, that's on you. That's probably on the system.
How's on you?
That means you weren't in a good enough system to where you can get the most out of these. Like Jordan Bell was a pretty good contributor.
Jordan Bell was so ass.
No, I'm tripping. Not him. What was the guard? The shooter, Quinn Cook.
Yeah.
Quinn Cook had a couple games.
Did he have double digits anytime?
I don't think so.
Exactly.
But they were never on the floor long enough.
If you just compare players itself, Quinn Cook is not better than
even how good Kyle Lowry was playing.
He's not better than Van Fleet. He's not better than Kyle Lowry. That's already two guys he's not better than. So you literally have.
Wait, I don't even want to talk about. We talked about this series long enough. I think
Steve Kerr being overrated as a coach.
I won't say he's overrated. I do think he's had the luxury of having
good. I don't think any other great coach would lose 2 out of those 5 championships. I think he'd win all 5.
I don't know about
that. That was a transcendent team,
and that's the tough thing too, that he actually won at least 3, because to motivate players every year to win it,
they're better than everyone else.
No, but
what motivation do you need when you're just better?
When's the last time a team won 5 times in a row?
Ephraim. Once again,
Jordan's Bulls won 6 in a row,
and that's who Michael Jordan. You can't
No,
compare.
that was the whole system. People don't realize Jordan went into a great system
of all time.
Pat Riley and Phil Jackson. Are you kidding me?
The point is like it's hard to even go 5 times, and both times they were hobbled, that they lost. They literally did not have players, or they were injured. What
do you mean both times?
Draymond was.
They lost Draymond for 1 game. Are you telling me they couldn't recover from that?
They lost momentum.
What does momentum have to do with when you have home advantage?
Bogut and Iggy were out.
Oh my God! You're talking about guys that don't make or break you. That Cavs team.
Iggy and Bogut were good back then.
They don't make or break you though.
They don't.
Yes, they did.
Are you serious?
Not that Warriors team.
Wait.
They still had Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Barnes.
They made and broke them so much that they lost the finals.
Well, I guess that goes to show that Steph is just not that guy. Because if Iggy makes or breaks you, and losing Draymond for 1 game, you couldn't hold it down and win 1 out of 3 for a championship. We're holding that against anybody else besides Steph. But that's a whole nother point.
But But you're saying about Steph. What does that have to do about Steve Kerr? Of not having this.
I think that's the whole point. Steve Kerr can't win without a stacked deck.
Not loaded, but just having.
He just needs a stacked deck, and I feel like anybody can win with a stacked deck.
Same with LeBron.
Wait, did he think Harrison Barnes was gonna do it?
A good coach with Steph and Clay healthy. You realize Steph and Clay were healthy.
So
up until this series, they've never had a series where Steph and Clay weren't healthy throughout.
So you say a good coach will get the best out of Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Barnes is a good player. Let's not disrespect him.
Since he left the Warriors,
he's only went to Dallas and performed.
Mark Cuban.
He performed in Dallas, and he was killing in Sacramento last year. They had a great team in Sacramento.
And it wasn't.
Hey, look out for Sacramento because they just picked up Ariza.
It was really because of Buddy Hield and De'Aaron. That's why they were good last year.
Darren Fox just came like 2 years ago.
I'm saying that's why they were good last year.
And then Marvin,
right?
And then Marvin Bagley started coming into his own also.
Hey, watch out for Sacramento. I think they can.
Don't say watch out.
I was saying.
I think they can force for that 8 spot.
I was saying that until I saw how much better like West.
I want you to understand right now. There's 7 people.
Who really got better besides the Clippers and the Jazz?
I said Clippers got better.
What did the Lakers?
I said Clippers got
better.
And,
those are the obvious
they didn't
ones.
Make the playoffs. So that's another team that's taking.
So there's only one team that didn't make the playoffs that got better.
Okay. Wait,
and OKC got worse.
And
terribly worse.
Everybody else is staying too. And then on top of that, you got teams like Dallas is going to be a pretty good team.
I don't think Dallas could be better than the Spurs.
No, but in terms of like competing with the Sacramento Kings.
Okay, so Dallas and the Lakers are the only teams who didn't make the playoffs that got better. Hold on. But we got a team that got progressively worse, which is OKC. Let's completely out of the picture.
Let's actually like say these teams in the West are gonna make it: Clippers, Lakers, Warriors, Jazz, Nuggets,
Portland.
That's 7 already.
And I think that last spot is a toss up.
It's between the Spurs,
Dallas,
and for being honest,
Sacramento.
For being honest, the Spurs are getting that last spot.
I don't think the Warriors are a lock.
Because
I hate that you threw the Warriors in like top 4.
No, they're a lock. I wouldn't say.
I think they're going to be in the bottom 3.
They'll finish like 6.
Between 6 and 8. Mm-hmm. And I don't think any of those spots are a lock. And I think Portland is in the top 4. That's another thing that y'all were disrespecting Portland on.
Who was just? I said they're going to compete.
I don't think they're going to finish top 4 though.
I think they are. The only reason, you know what's funny? I got the Lakers finishing outside the top 4. Seeding wise, but I think they're going all the way to the conference finals.
The only reason why
the Lakers,
the only reason I agree with you is because of health. They're gonna do a lot of those matches. They're gonna do a lot.
I don't think the Lakers or the Clippers are getting the 1 seed. I think Houston gets the 1 seed. I think Denver gets the 2nd seed. I got the Clippers getting the 3rd seed. Portland getting the 4th seed, and Lakers getting the 5th seed.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Houston have the 2 greatest regular season players in the history of basketball.
That is true though.
There have never been a greater pair of regular season players besides Westbrook and Harden in the last ever. We're talking about dudes that have done shit that nobody has ever or will ever do. Mm-hmm. In the regular season, they're going to dominate.
So they'll be out in the first round.
But they're going to be out in the first round. Okay. They're going to be that 1 seed who gets bounced in the first round.
Who you have going to finals then?
From the West, I got the Lakers because I can't bet against LeBron. I agree with you. Cannot bet against LeBron.
No, this is the 1 year I agree with you with. You can't bet against LeBron because he's seeing how everybody's like putting him away, saying he's not.
And also, there's no stacked deck. He hasn't lost against a non-stacked deck.
Except the Mavericks.
That's so far behind him. You can't compare that LeBron mentally with this LeBron.
You know what we call that?
Who's man?
That's called moving the goalpost.
Yeah.
No. That literally is moving the goal because it's been 8 years. Are you fucking kidding me?
Right. Bro, he was like 28, 26.
Back then?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
8 years ago. He's 34 now. That's 8 years ago.
He was in his prime.
He was 26.
But he didn't know how to win.
Oh my God!
No. If it was a case where he had won a championship and then lost to Dallas, I'd understand it. He just came off of getting like the only time he had ever been in the finals before that, he got swept.
You know, he never got swept in the finals.
Kobe.
You know who else?
Jordan.
Okay.
But you know who had a good system behind him?
Oh my God.
LeBron. Kobe and Jordan. LeBron's never had a good system. And it's funny how no one ever brings that up. He's never had a great coach. He's never had a great owner. He's never had a great executive.
He wants to be a coach himself.
Did he choose to get drafted to the fucking Cavs?
No. Every team he's
I would acknowledge exactly what he says is the exact point. LeBron low-key doesn't want a good coach.
That's a lie.
No, he low-key thinks he knows more than anyone.
He thinks he knows more than the coach. And he's shown it.
You can't say that.
After David,
that's not quantifiable. How do you defend that?
David Blatt was fired while being the first.
Is David Blatt a good coach?
He was first in the East.
What has David Blatt done since then?
They were first in the East.
I hate that. I hate the idea that David Blatt was the guy.
No, it's not that he was the guy. But was the case of dropping him for Tyronn Lue?
So did Tyronn Lue not win the championship? Fuck out of here.
Bro, we already talked about that championship.
Oh my God.
So Tyronn Lue's a good coach then, right?
Better than David Blatt.
So he's not a good coach.
And David Blatt forced the 6-game series against Warriors when LeBron had no Kyrie.
Didn't you say almost don't win shit?
No.
Fuck out of here. Don't move the goalpost. I don't want to hear whatever you have to say if he didn't win.
But at least
did he win it?
At least got those to 6.
Ain't no at least. Did he win?
Bro, 6 is
That's
a
your.
lot.
This is
No
your
Kyrie,
standards.
No Kevin Love.
Against a
But
dynasty.
this is your standards.
No
Against
Kyrie-
a dynasty.
Against a dynasty.
That wasn't a dynasty back then.
Wait. So when they become a dynasty? Then?
They low key became a dynasty after they won 73 fucking games coming off of a championship. Because back then we were like, okay, we don't know about the Warriors. That was the first year that they really did it. How's that moving the goalpost?
Oh, yeah, moving the goalposts.
But you said almost don't win shit.
Okay, but like.
So what are you giving him credit for right now?
With context. Yeah,
Oh, so now there's context?
Yes, I always add context. Don't boost that.
There should always be context, but at the same time, you're the same one who was saying he lost 3 times to a dynasty. So now we're gonna move it to 2 now. Since you said they weren't a dynasty,
It was 3 because he lost twice against.
He lost twice
No,
against the Spurs.
no, wait,
The Spurs have always been a dynasty.
no, I'm
Wait,
saying,
oh yeah, so it is only twice because he lost to KD twice. That's all.
yeah,
He lost to KD
That's it.
once.
Twice. He got swept.
No, he lost to KD
Actually,
3
he got-
times.
Wait, LeBron's been swept twice in the finals.
No, he's only been swept once.
Twice.
The second time was he got swept by the Spurs.
Hey man,
That don't even count.
Wait.
Anderson Varejao, are you kidding me? Fucking Ilgauskas?
Hey,
That Cavs team was an embarrassment. People say the niggas who made the finals on that Cavs team will probably not be able to get tickets to an NBA finals for the rest of their lives.
Okay.
That's how bad that team was.
Wait,
They probably wouldn't be allowed as media people.
Okay, Ephraim. How about this? Damn, I literally forgot I was about.
The Cavs ruined LeBron the same way the Pelicans ruined Anthony Davis.
How they ruin
Certain teams should not be allowed to get superstars, which is why I advocate for the draft to be more like free agency. Just let niggas get interviews and decide where they want to go and get paid how they. That's fine.
No, it's
if you
not.
suck as an executive and an owner, you should just get better. You shouldn't get rewarded with talent,
It's gonna be like Barcelona, Real, and all that.
and that's fine.
No, it's
Yes.
not.
Let's
No, that's
reward
not.
people who are good at their job.
Nobody's gonna watch basketball if that happens.
People are gonna. What the
If it's
league
just
benefits from
If
dynasties.
it's just 2 teams,
People have said that last year was the least watched playoffs when there was more parity.
I don't know. I
Wait.
love last year's playoffs way more
Wait,
than.
no.
There was more parity in the East, and nobody watched that shit because nobody cared.
Yeah, because there's no LeBron, but the West was still watched.
No, not really.
The West, the
Who watched Golden State versus Portland?
That's-
And I'll be on record saying, God
It was a
damn it,
sweep.
Portland, y'all
It was
let
a
me the
sweep.
fuck
Yeah,
down.
it was sweet, but everybody watched Golden
that was-
State Rockets.
Yeah, because that was basically
And that Blazers,
and actually
that Blazers
after
Nuggets
the
series
Blaz-
was amazing.
And the Blazers.
it was amazing, but nobody watched it.
Nah, don't say that.
Nah, the Blazers Warriors ones
that's-
because
If they had a 4 overtime, that shit was too
The
exciting.
Blazers Nuggets game was not watched.
I don't agree with that.
We can pull up the numbers. The whole playoff suffered.
And everybody watched.
Of course, you watched it. You're a purist. Well, you're not a purist because you don't watch college basketball and high school basketball, and you don't go to when they're fucking in diapers and see who's got the leg strength to be the next fucking
All-American
Kawhi.
And people definitely watched OKC Blazers. You had no choice. You had no choice.
Yeah, because Russ
Russ
Dame.
That was fun.
You had no choice. Okay.
My point is, the league benefits from having dynasties.
The league's benefits from having stars.
And I think the draft
Not
the draft
necessarily.
is rewarding mediocre owners, mediocre executive, mediocre teams that are run poorly, and it gives them generational talents who then suffer because of that. Because if you go back to like Jordan got lucky. He wasn't drafted number 1, right? So he didn't go to a shitty team.
He would have went to the Rockets.
Well, which is fair because they were good. They were run pretty good. The point is, nowadays, when you go number 1, you're going to a shitty team.
Appreciate team.
Besides Zion going to a decently run Pelicans team now because they just got a new executive.
Ben
But
Simmons was
before David Griffin, what's his name? Dude that was so caught up in like personal drama that he wouldn't trade Anthony Davis when it made absolute sense. You go to teams that are run really poorly. Look at Karl Anthony Towns. Look at Devin Booker. Free Devin is a thing. People are calling for this man to be freed from his organization.
That's true.
Look at Kemba Walker. He was stuck working for the worst owner in the league.
That didn't want to give him a super max.
God,
Okay.
he didn't want to give him a regular max.
Okay.
He gave him less than the max.
Okay. So last thing, who do you have coming out the East?
Philly. Can't bet against Philly.
You can bet.
I think Milwaukee got worse, and they weren't that much better to begin with.
I think Philly's did.
I think Philly also got worse, but I think
Philly's
if Philly
good, though.
stays healthy, there's no team in the East that's better than them.
Yeah,
but I like the Celtics as my dark horse because I really believe
They're a
Kemba.
team.
They're not a great team.
Brad Stevens won't have
Are they the third best team in the East?
Brad Stevens won't have to deal with Kyrie's ego no more.
They're the third best team in the East.
Okay, I got Philly, Milwaukee,
And then Indiana.
No, I wouldn't even put Indiana that high.
Really? Indiana is pretty cold.
I like Miami.
All right, next topic.
Who do Miami have?
Next topic. Just
Jimmy Butler.
Just Jimmy.
Jimmy Butler. They have Bam Adebayo. I've watched the Heat play in person. They're a good team. If they all right. I'm gonna be that guy who says Tyler Hero is gonna be good.
He's gonna be great.
LeBron's not in Miami, so they're not doing.
They got Dragic still. Okay, I think they can still make moves in free agency, and I think Chris Paul can still come over.
This is the last topic I want to bring up. When we bring up the best point guard,
but you're right, Indiana. Let me just correct that because I don't want to go out on a hot take. Indiana is the fourth best team in the East.
I don't want to go out.
I don't want niggas thinking like, oh, I got Miami over Indiana. No, because I love Victor Oladipo. That's my favorite player in the league.
Agree. Is it because he's Nigerian?
No, it's just because he's like good as fuck.
Okay. So when we think about the best point guards, we think of.
If you say Kyrie, I'm gonna snap.
Only above all time. You think about Magic, really. Like
Magic is number one all time.
And then think of John Stockton.
John Stockton is barely top 5.
Jesus Christ.
He's like 5th.
He has the assist record. Yeah.
That's fine and dandy, but John Stockton ain't win nothing. Well, I mean, the definition
changed. Who does John Stockton have to go up against?
Steph is better than John Stockton.
Who does John Stockton have to go up against?
Jordan.
Okay.
Rip.
Okay.
We don't. That's not an excuse.
That is an excuse.
It's not an excuse for Charles Barkley.
Consideration back then, they were hitting people. If you pass it to them,
they hit you. They had linebackers.
But John Stockton couldn't do nothing but pass and facilitate.
I mean,
he was very one-dimensional.
He
did do his job.
Probably averaged double.
He was the whitest point guard of all time.
Wait,
sauceless.
No, white chocolate was more white than him.
No, white chocolate was the blackest white guy that's ever lived.
Jason Kidd is.
Nah,
Jason Kidd is actually black.
Oh, Jason Kidd's white, bro. He's white. He's too light skinned to be black.
They tried to pass Jason Kidd off as black for the longest, knowing damn well that nigga has like 1/8 black.
Exactly, 1/8 black.
Fuck out of here.
Don't say nigga around me. Okay, so will we still say?
That's why they got him out of Milwaukee.
When we think of players who didn't win a ring in their whole like career,
the best player who never won a ring.
Hold on, we still think of the best. Well, that's still. Well, I don't know. I don't even know about that.
I think it's Iverson.
We think of Iverson. We think of Charles Barkley. We think of.
Didn't Iverson drop 50 in the finals?
Yes, on the Lakers.
Jeez, he's the best.
We think of Sean Kemp,
the GOAT of losers.
Who was on the Knicks? That Knicks team was pretty good. And then you think of
Carmelo.
No.
And then you think of Chris
Paul. Carmelo never went to a finals.
And then we think of Chris Paul. Is Chris Paul a top 3-point guard of all time? Top 5.
Chris Paul is barely in the top 10.
Is he barely in the top 10? Okay.
But at a point, Chris Paul was going to be the best point guard of all time.
But then what?
Yeah,
but then
his career took a drastic turn.
That's why I wanted to bring it up because I feel like we still think of Chris Paul as like one of the greats to ever like touch the court.
Oh, he's top 10 for sure.
Top 10. Okay.
He's top 10 point guards.
The way I looked at him back in the day, and as the years go by, I just start.
I got Russ over Chris Paul at this point.
I do too. I start
all time.
Wait, let's not say all time.
I would.
Yes, you have to. Bro, you have to.
Russ, Chris Paul. Wait, Russ is better than Chris Paul all time.
All time, you have to. Let's put their careers in perspective. Chris Paul never even won an MVP. Russ won an MVP and he's finished top 3 in voting.
But that's a season.
He's been through a finals. Chris Paul ain't never been to a finals. He's averaged a triple-double in 3 straight seasons.
Okay.
He's been to a finals. You can't even use regular season against Russ when it comes to Chris Paul. Chris Paul is like the Peyton Manning of basketball, the regular season GOAT.
At least Peyton has 2.
That's true. Chris Paul ain't never even been to a he struggles to get to the conference finals.
Yeah, we have a point. Okay, so let's name our top 10 point guards of all time. Me personally,
Magic.
A hot take. If Steph wins 2 more, he's up there with Magic. Like competing with number 1.
Steph will never compete with Magic because he unless he wins 2 Finals MVPs.
Yes, to win.
Steph needs 2 Finals MVPs.
One.
No, he needs 2. Okay. To top Magic.
Okay. Not top, at least be like a competition.
How many Finals MVPs does Magic have?
I think he won like 2 or 3.
He
won 1 in his rookie year.
Yeah.
He has 5 rings. I mean, he won Finals MVP his rookie year. Jesus
Hey,
Christ. Okay, so we have Magic, Steph, John Stockton, AI.
No, I got Magic, Steph. I don't think John Stockton's third.
John Stockton's top. I'm talking about top five. Top five. Period.
On John.
I mean, if he didn't win a ring,
he has the assist record.
So how is Big O not ahead of him?
AI has it. AI doesn't also.
Huh?
AI doesn't also.
So then AI goes before John Stockton.
That's
why.
He's just a better player.
Stop the cap, bro.
And at least AI performed in a final.
Like what? 19,000.
He has too many.
Where does Steve Nash go?
Oh, he up there. He at least top 5.
So he's the fifth. He's the fifth. Not that he's number 5. But yeah, he doesn't have a ring either.
He doesn't.
But he won MVP like twice, right?
Twice.
Where does Jason Kidd go?
See, that's another one.
Now
how about this? Where does Derek Fisher go?
Where's Ephraim? Where's that?
Because he has 5 rings.
Derek Fisher won a ring.
No, Ephraim, we're having some conversation.
Let me chill.
Conversation.
Is Derek Fisher top 25 though?
Top 20?
Is he top 25? He could be top 25.
I don't know about that.
I could freak that.
Okay, so we have.
I
think we have 6 right here. Yeah, eventually.
When he start?
He started with Lakers. Okay, so we have 6 right now. So we have Magic, Steph, Russ. No, sorry, Magic, Steph, AI, John Stockton, and
Steve Nash.
So that's 5. Jason Kidd.
He's definitely up there.
And
yeah, he's definitely up there.
Who else then?
Why am I losing? Was Gary Payton a point guard?
Yes.
Isaiah Thomas. Wait.
Isaiah.
Wait.
See, John Stockton he moves further down the list. Isaiah's number 2.
You can't.
Isaiah Thomas is number 2.
Nah, he's number 3.
He's number 2. He's right behind.
I'll put Steph over him.
I'm not.
I don't know.
I'm not, because Isaiah did it by himself, low key. That was a good Bad Boys team, but he was the unquestioned leader of that team.
But he also played the Lakers towards the end, like the end of their dynasty, and Jordan was literally right about to go into. Like,
Jordan was a baby, and they beat up on him.
Nah, he wasn't a baby.
They beat up on that man.
He had been in the league a good 6-7 years. But then after that, they never took. But
let's talk about how Jordan ain't really win when niggas was in the league.
We're not doing this. Ephraim, it's not every day, bro. Relax.
Let's talk about how Jordan ain't really start winning until niggas left the league, though. So, until real niggas left the league.
Ephraim, no, we're not doing that. So we have 8. We have 8 right now.
I thought we were at 7.
We're at 8.
Who's the 8?
J.K. was 6. And then we put 8. And then we put
Isaiah Thomas,
and then we put Gary Payton.
Oscar Robertson.
The
Big O. Wait, was he a point guard?
He was a point guard.
Oscar Robertson was not a point guard.
Was he?
He was.
Wait, are we serious?
Big O was a point guard.
Oscar.
He was a big point guard, I think.
He might have been a 3.
I don't think he was a point guard. The Big O. Am I?
It's just crazy how Chris Paul was like top of this list not too long ago.
He was going to be. He was going to be. There's a difference.
That Chris Paul rookie year, my God, people thought like Chris Paul was gonna be like unquestionably like 6'5". That guy.
Who's point guard?
Yeah.
And that's number 9.
Let's talk about how New Orleans has really fumbled the bag.
First, first.
You forgot Derrick Rose.
Oh, we're not having a serious conversation.
He didn't have a longer.
Derrick Rose not top 25.
What about Chauncey
Billups? Stop the cap.
Derrick Rose can't be top 25. I'm sorry, like his prime didn't last long enough.
Tony Parker.
Ooh.
Nah, Chris Paul still.
Chris Paul over Tony Parker? Are you fucking
with context?
There's no context needed.
Context.
Tony Parker has won how many titles?
5.
So he already
4.
5.
4. Tim Duncan's won 5.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Tony won 4.
With context.
Back when
didn't Tony Parker win a Finals MVP?
I don't remember.
Maybe.
He's won 1.
Maybe.
Let's use context. He had Greg Popovich, Tim Duncan.
Oh, so now that matters, but it don't matter for Jordan and LeBron? The goalpost is at this point, the goalpost is all the way moved.
He, as the best coach to ever coach, yes.
No, but
I don't got Pop over Phil Jackson. I don't got Pop over Phil. Do you know how many titles Phil Jackson has won? It's almost disrespectful.
They're 1 and 2. They're 1 and 2.
Phil Jackson is number 1.
I mean, I'm not mad. I'm a Bulls fan. Hey, he can be number 1.
Well, I think Phil Jackson is behind Red too, right?
Who?
Who's the coach of the Celtics? The OG.
Nah, son. Phil Jackson has 11
His name was like
rings?
Red Auerbach or something like that. I'm trying to remember.
Wait.
I might be thinking of football.
Phil Jackson has 11 rings. 11. That's a lot of rings.
That the Celtics won like 11 straight.
That doesn't count, bro. They were playing when them white boys were in the league.
You can't. When you're talking about errors, like you have to just take the whole.
So we have 9 right now.
Pat Riley's up there.
Jerry West.
Oh yeah.
As a what? Jerry West was a shooting guard.
I mean, they say he was a guard.
No, he was a
Not
2 guard.
guard,
He was a
guard.
2 guard.
Wait, we have 9. Is Chris Paul number 10?
No, Russ would be number 10. Matter of fact, they might go before Russ.
Okay.
But no. Hold on.
All
Wait,
right.
context. Dame needs an MVP. He needs a regular season MVP, and then he's above Russ for me, personally.
That's fair. And he needs to make the finals.
So Russ is number 10 over Chris Paul.
Right now, yeah.
You got to. At this
If
point,
they both retired right now, which is crazy because
who's had a better career, honestly?
Russ has had a better career so far. Russ has been to the finals. He's won the MVP. He's put up historical stats. He's led his own team multiple years.
I mean, when you look at career,
When you're comparing with Chris Paul, regular season is all you got.
But let's also say what has Russ done since KD left?
What is
Like I said, that's when he
Chris Paul?
started-
Chris
that's when
Paul
he
has
started-
always had help though, besides New Orleans. So that argument doesn't count.
That's fair.
And yeah, first round exits though.
They have been first round exits. You're talking about leading a team, but
For Russ.
they've been first round exits, and he had Paul George last year and dropping
and
30.
And we talking about Russ making players worse, but low key players have their best seasons with Russ than without him. Let's talk about it.
Ooh.
Paul George.
Stop the cap, bro. Oh my
Paul George has never smelled those type of stats.
Oh my
Low key, he
God.
KD hasn't even been KD since he left. Individually, he's won more.
No.
Let's be real. His stats have something. I mean, we know why because he has to share the load. But let's give Russ some credit. Let's give Russ some credit.
It's a cancer.
Nah.
No, he's not a cancer. Not personality wise.
He's flipping. He doesn't believe that.
Not personality
He doesn't believe
wise.
that because the GM, this nigga's talking a different tune, bro. Listen to
No,
him.
I said Russ like.
I'm the biggest Russ hater. That's the funny thing.
No, I said Russ like. Really
I don't think you can win with Russ
So you think Russ takes that number 10 spot?
right now. Yeah, unless I could think of some more like historical greats.
Okay, so
Because to me, if I really like at the end of their careers, I look at like if they were to end right now, I just start looking at like accolades, like stats,
I still don't think John
all
Stockton
that.
is top
I look at
5.
it and be like, this dude averaged a triple double like for a whole season.
okay, so
I don't think John Stockton is top 5.
no,
I'm throwing big. I'm throwing Big O and Steve Nash over
The
him.
reason why I say that is because he's all time.
Yes,
I have to put him.
It's,
on there.
you remember that old rule in the NBA where like if you won your division, you automatically like top 4. It doesn't matter if your record was worse than people.
That was the worst thing ever. Remember that year with Dallas, Houston,
it
and
was the Blazers.
it was Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio.
It was the
Oh,
Blazers.
yeah.
That was the worst
But
year.
the Blazers were 4th because they won, which was like that's so fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just going back, so we had Magic, Steph,
Isaiah
Isaiah is top
Isaiah
5.
has to be 3.
John Stockton. I'm not even trying. There's no reason ranking them because Gary Payton needs to make some sort of argument for at least top 7
Does he? He never really won by himself. He won with Wade, but
with Wade.
yeah, he won with Wade. He won with Wade.
He didn't win with Ray. He didn't win with Ray Allen. That's crazy because he had him in Seattle right at the
Yeah.
time. Okay, so we had
That was a good team.
So that's 3, and then we have John Stockton. We have Steve Nash, Jason Kidd.
I don't think John Stockton goes over
Gary
Steve
Payton,
Nash. John Stockton just played forever. He played 20-some years.
He never got hurt.
And all he did was pass.
Wait, the Big O, and I'm missing one more before we get to number 10.
Before we get to number 10,
Wait, does Tony Parker over Russ?
Tony
I think
Parker
so.
over Russ, yeah, for
So
sure.
Russ not even top 10 then.
So it's
Chris Paul for
it's
sure
Chris
not
Paul,
top 10
yeah.
though.
Okay.
All I know is-
it just can't be Chris Paul.
It just
Yeah,
can't.
it can't be Chris Paul.
Chris Paul has he's ruined his own legacy, just by being a drama queen, and it's so unexpected because he's the president of the place. So it's the
Which is
most
sad.
random thing. Because how do you get to lead them, but you can't play
Nobody
with
respects
them?
you,
Yeah, that is true.
I think they respect them. They just can't play with them.
That's fair. All right.
Because didn't we see Chris Paul and Russ and LeBron at a summer league games this summer?
yeah,
they
they
were
were
all
like-
together, like
they were-
smiling and
yeah.
kikiing. And that's the nigga who was just gonna take your job.
Hey man,
Life comes at you fast.
Hey, man. You hate to see it. Okay, well, I guess we could transition into what I don't want to get into. This past weekend was hard for me. I was sitting on my bed. Mind you, 15 minutes into the game, I texted Melvin. I said, Melvin, we're cold. I've never seen Chelsea play that different since, like, I don't remember when. We were playing so exciting. We were high pressing. We had that shot by Tammy Abraham. Ephraim, you just go first, cause
I was gonna let you. I was going.
I want you to go first.
You're Yoruba, so you know what shalaye means, right? There's this thing on football Twitter that's called shalaye. It's when you try to explain some shit when you really should just shut the fuck up and take your L. Because every time, remember last year when you guys played us and y'all won 2-0 in the second game of the season, and we outplayed the fuck out of you, but Pedro doing that dumb shit and fucking Doris not knowing how to be a goalie anymore, and y'all won the game. Was anybody trying to hear any excuses?
Okay.
Look, you got to put things.
I'm just saying.
Ephraim,
we know.
Go.
I'm about to. We know football, the original football, is a game of results. It's the number one game of results. Mm-hmm. Literally anything can fucking happen for 90 minutes. You can have 90% possession, 89 shots on target, and still lose.
Don't bring context into this. Go emotional.
That's what I'm saying. There's no need for context.
There is
so
need
my
for
point,
context.
not with soccer, because it's all about who wins and who loses.
But considering
does anyone remember why Brazil actually lost 7-1 to Germany?
But considering, but the difference is this is the first game of the season, so this loss really doesn't. It's not as big as it could be. It's the first game.
I think this loss is bigger than it is. No. Because it's the first game of the season, and it's what sets. All right, so we all know in soccer that you get to play teams home and away, right? So you guys, that's the first big game of the season. Mm-hmm. So for one, that was the first major test, huh?
Away for one.
It was away, right? But
don't give context.
Considering who we're playing in Manchester United, who's a team that everyone has slated to be by far the least likely to achieve anything this season.
Are you serious?
I texted my cousin. My cousin's a huge Manchester United fan, and I said I got Chelsea at 5th and you guys at 6th.
He's a Man U fan?
Yeah, I know. I told him I have them at 5th. I mean, I have them at 6th, and I had Jal at 5th.
You're dumb because you haven't seen this Chelsea squad.
No. Here's the thing. That's the definition of shalaye, because before this game, that was not what was being said.
By who? You never talked to me to ask me.
But that's just you.
Even me, I just told you now. From the start of the season, at best, I even said we'd probably finish 6th.
In general, a lot of people have been saying United was worse than us.
Okay.
I haven't been saying that.
Okay, so
that's you. We're saying in general.
And so you guys only lost 2 players from last year, right? And you gained 1.
But we never added anything.
You gained Pulisic. This is his first year.
A 20-year-old.
Oh, so now he's the 20-year-old that you paid 70 fucking million for.
Tell me who's the last American player to be.
Pulisic he's a good player. We're not gonna sit here and pretend.
He has potential.
Is he better than Nicolas Pepe? Yes.
It's arguable.
If you look at what Pepe just came off of being.
That's what I'm saying. This is Pepe's first year.
Pepe just.
We have to see what he is.
Pepe just came off of being second in League One to
in goals, I think. Yeah.
Ligue 1, everybody knows Ligue 1 is real. No. Ligue 1 is you take it with a grain of salt because Giroud was dominating that league.
He was also scoring against.
So was Memphis.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, like, it's. I take all Ligue 1 players with a grain of salt because Hazard did come from Ligue 1, so it's like a toss up. Mm-hmm. But you never know what you're getting.
At the same time, Hazard had 38% of our goals last year. So that's a big loss, and we didn't add anything to it.
But you gained a player that you didn't have before in Pulisic.
Let's talk about.
My point is that Chelsea team.
Let him talk about the game. Let's talk about the game.
Okay, so you guys ended up losing 4-0, right? Mm-hmm. I know it hurts to say it's been worse in times past. You just lost 6-0 last year. I don't know why you acted like it's a shock. And apparently in the last 3 games to United, you've conceded 11 goals, which is insane to me. That's 4-3. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of goals. So for one, you probably shouldn't be going there acting confident anyways, because they've clearly been whooping your ass like a lot. My point was, I expected that Chelsea team to get a draw. Huh?
You said Man U whooped us?
Yeah, you've conceded 11 goals in the last 3 games.
But we beat we drew.
Going to Old Trafford.
Okay. I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah,
Continue.
11 goals, 3 games. That's 4, 4, and 3. That's a lot of goals.
Continue
for you guys. My point is, this man is on record as saying, and by this man, let the record show that I'm pointing to Adedina, right? He's on record as saying Chelsea would be top 3 in the league, in the Barclays Premier League that has Liverpool, Tottenham, and Manchester City.
So you said Tottenham before City. Are you mad?
No, that was in no particular order. Because obviously I would say Manchester City first.
Say it again.
In a Barclays Premier League that has Tottenham, Manchester City, and Liverpool. The fuck, I'm putting my team first. Unlike you actually have a reason to, because we won. Now,
y'all want to know how many
we know.
Yikes.
Do you want to go ahead and walk that back right now? Are you guys going to be top 3?
I want you to finish now talk.
No, just real quick, walk that back, because I know you want to. Just go ahead and walk it back.
I'm not
You're not walking it back? All right, so are they still fucking things that they're finishing top 3 in the Barclays Premier League? And they couldn't go to Old Trafford and get a result. Now, you're right. There was context. Like, you guys had a decent game for most of the game. But I was watching Jose's breakdown of your defense. And he had a great point. This has nothing to do with the quality of players. It has nothing to do with the system. It has everything to do with basic football principles. Staying compact, defending as a unit. There were so many gaps before that counterattack that led to the 4th goal. There was at least 3 counterattacks just like it. That didn't, and we all know, man, end result is not their forte. They'll bang all day and not do shit. They had 3 counterattacks that were exactly identical and didn't lead to anything.
Or somebody that would have finished.
Tomorrow, you go against Liverpool.
We better park the bus. That's all I'm saying.
There's no point. You're going to. There's no even. And that's what Jose was saying is, even when you park the bus defending a low block, you have to be compact. The issue was that Chelsea was not compact.
One mental lapse, and when you're parking the bus and they can just get behind.
Also, it's like if you're not compact, that means your forward is like way up there, and you're not defending, you're not shifting as a unit. Everybody knows Pep is one of the best defensive coaches by being offensive, because they win the ball as soon as they lose it, and they defend as a team.
And you're not getting the ball back.
You're not getting it back for a while, and that adds
by the time you get it back, you're gonna be tired.
And that's why everyone acts so nervous when they have the ball against City, because they know if we lose it, oh boy, it's about to be a lot of running before we get that whole back. Now, I'm not saying Lampard's an overrated coach, because I don't think he's rated at all. I think we're just trying to find out who he is. Yeah, but I do think that one thing that stands out when a new coach comes to a team is when the team lacks basic football principles. And I said that from the jump. I could always see what Sarri was doing. I could see his imprint on the team right off the bat.
We said that every week.
Right off the bat. Now, people didn't agree with it, but he had a system. I'm not sure I see what Lampard is going for. And that's why I think it's going to be a very rough season for you boys.
Putting things into context as well. With Sarri, you saw it with his previous teams what he did, like for multiple years with Napoli and all that. So you can kind of like look at, this is what he was doing with them. I could kind of see it in this team. Lampard, like he literally only had 1 season with Derby, so you can't even tell yet what he's. And he himself probably doesn't.
And at Derby, he really was just known for like putting just them outperforming themselves. And being young and like just being tough and wanting to like win, but there was no discernible system.
Let me know when I can speak.
My thing is, this is my closing argument. You are by far the biggest idiot in all of idiocy for saying that Chelsea would finish top 3 in this Premier League this season, especially when you saw what everybody else did. At this point, I got y'all boys as 10th. I'm done. Go ahead. 10th.
All right. That was cute. All that was cute.
Behind Wolves, behind Leicester, behind Everton.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And behind West Ham. 10th.
All right. So let's actually talk soccer. So if you watch the game, like you said, the game's the soccer's all about results, right? It's one of the sports that you can be the better team and still lose, right? Looking at just stats, we had more possession, more shots, and more shots on target, more passes, more key everything. The only thing we lost in was Goals. That's all. Only thing that we lost in was goals. If you watch the game, we legit lost on 4 counterattacks. Legit 4 goals, 4 counterattacks. The first
against the counterattacking team, might I add.
No, okay, cool. Who was our center back partnership? Christensen and Zuma. Christensen was never a starting center back for us. Zuma should not even be on the Premier League team, in my opinion. I've been saying this because Melvin and we have a whole.
These are the same fans that called for all their loan players to come back.
No.
We're good. One transfer ban. We're good.
Melvin can test me. I've never thought Zuma was that good. I have never thought Zuma was that good.
If you didn't hear anything personally from me, don't say you are the same guys. Don't say
and that. Me in the GM, I said in the GM, I said Christensen and Zuma before the game started. I said Christensen and Zuma, y'all better show me something because by next summer it will be nothing to sell you guys. I did not rate them whatsoever.
But that's even the whole starting 11.
No, but for me, but who did I call out? I called out them two, legit them two. That's all I put in the GM. When Zuma made that stupid ass pass to Martial, I put Jim. I said that's Zuma. That's one. The next thing he did was what? Concede that penalty. That's just him. That's just him alone. Second goal
was too fast for him. Zuma was lost.
Zuma was so lost. So
that's what happens when. Let me butt in real quick. That's what happens when you have a center back partnership that have literally 0 games together. Okay, people don't understand. That is the number one partnership in soccer where you need the most chemistry.
Okay, so
no other partnership.
So you're only helping my point. Cool.
That's your coach.
How's that having our coach?
Okay. Who put them together?
I'm not done. See, he's proving my point. Rudiger's injured. We just sold David Luiz, which low key after looking back at this game, it was low key stupid to have sold him. Looking back, because I would have preferred Christian's David Luiz at this point. Zuma needs to be sent off somewhere else. Rudiger's injured, so now we're just getting to people who weren't there. Rudiger's injured. Conte didn't play until like the 70th minute. Cho is out. Rupen Loftus-Cheek are out. Those are 4 players who are starting. 4 who are starting. I think other than that, we lost on 4 counterattacks because our defense is not healthy. Like one of them was sold because he wasn't gonna start, which I personally agree with. That was one thing Frank Lampard, and I really wish David Luiz was there. And Rudiger's injured.
You just said he wasn't gonna start.
I don't no because Frank Lampard told me he wasn't gonna start, so he's like, all right, I don't want to be here then.
He's not gonna start at Arsenal either.
Over who? Mustafi?
He's not starting. He's not gonna start at Arsenal.
Who's gonna start over him?
Probably when Holding gets back.
Eventually.
I thought Holding was back.
No,
he's not back yet, but he'll be back very soon.
Who started this weekend? Socrates and Mustafi.
I don't think Mustafi started. I think it was it might have been Mavropanos, whatever the fuck that guy's name is.
My point is we have 4 players of our starting 11 who are going to make the number 11. Who are going to be in the number 11 every week. Who are not there. Our center back duo was 2 young players who had never played with each other. We lost on 2 counterattacks to a defense that's still merging together. Emerson was not our starting left back.
What are you trying to accomplish?
Hold on. Emerson was not our starting left back for the majority of last season. So that's enough. So we have 3 players right there who are not used to playing with each other.
The whole team isn't used to playing with each other.
So if we're saying, and before that penalty that Rashford scored, we were going to smack the fuck out of United. It was actually no. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
I wouldn't say all that.
Let's be honest.
If you're being honest, then no.
it was looking very bad for United. It was honestly it was looking bad. If Zuma did not, because after that penalty, we looked terrible. We didn't even look like we wanted to be there. That's when we started doing these lazy ass passes and all that. After that goal, I was like, yeah, this game's pretty much over. So with all that being said, we've learned our mistakes.
People are boosting the chances that you guys had. The shot that Tammy had that hit the bar, it came off a ricochet off of a defender. It wasn't no pass. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't isolate moments and then also like downplay the moments that went against you. Because soccer is about ebbs and flows. Like,
but I'm not
it wasn't like you had a pattern of play that was going to get you a goal.
I mean the way Mason Mount was playing very, very confidently. Barkley was still, getting into his own. Pedro wasn't playing bad yet at that time. We were United wasn't even touching the ball like that in those first 15
They're a counter-attacking team.
No, but regardless, like, we were pushing them. We were shooting. We were doing a lot. So my point is, like, we were at least looking very good up until that Rashford penalty. So Now that we know Christensen Zuma is going to be very peak, Lampard is going to have to implement something that basically is going to slow down the bleeding until Rudiger gets back. Barkley's probably not going to start next game. Pusic's probably going to start left, and Mason Mount's going to start at cam.
When I saw that center mid partnership of Kovacic and Jorginho,
it was working out well for the beginning of the game. It was working out pretty well for the beginning of the game. I just don't want the result to make it look like we were bad all game, and I don't want the result.
That's exactly what the result does say, though.
But I'm talking about
the performance matters none when you lose 4 goals to nil.
But if we're talking about for the rest of the season, we're just going to use that result to basically determine the rest of our season. No.
Why do you think results matter so much? Because it literally feeds confidence. It can change the entire perspective of your season.
I would say us playing Liverpool.
Do you know that Liverpool lost the league in that 2-1 loss to City, which was a game that they performed very fucking well,
but City also
and they lost by fine margins. They literally were like what was the set, like
0.1 or
away from winning that.
But City also played out
and guess what? They lost the entire title.
City played out of their mind that game. You also need to put
Liverpool outplayed them.
Nah.
City had 2 moments. City sat back the whole game. That was the first time I seen Pep really concede that, hey, look, I can't play against these guys. I'm going to chill out, let them play, and I'm going to try to hit them.
Understand that,
but don't say it was like sitting.
Pep conceded possession for the first time all season.
It wasn't by that big of a margin like that.
Any margin. If he loses possession, because he's usually killing you by 20. We know that.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Champions League winners.
Every other time he's played Liverpool, they dominated possession. That time he was legitimately scared.
He was legit hot.
He was playing.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So they outperformed City.
No, it wasn't about outperforming. The game plan. That was the game plan going in.
That's what I'm saying, and I give Pep all the credit because he knew how to adjust. But Liverpool had the better performance, and they still lost. And that loss fed into their entire mindset going to the end of the season.
City deserves to win that game.
They did deserve to win it, but any team would have deserved to win that. If Liverpool would have won it, I would have said they deserved it.
So what? Don't say they had a better performance. It was even.
They did have a better performance.
It was even.
I had a better performance.
If you say both teams,
they dominated possession.
If you say both teams deserve to win, then you can't say one.
No, I'm saying I could see because Pep's game plan worked to perfection.
My point is
results matter.
Is what we know now going forward when Luther Zlatovic comes back, when Cho comes back, when Conte's fully back, when Rudiger.
You guys overhype Odoi. He's not changing your life when he gets back.
I won't say he's changing your life.
There's no one at Chelsea right now that's changing life.
I won't say
that's the realest thing you've said so far. That's the issue.
He's not changing your life, but he's better than Pedro.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why my expectations aren't high.
He's better than Pedro.
What?
No, I'm saying like why is that just a fact?
Okay, but because Pedro gives the ball up.
Is it eye test? Is it
Pedro gives the ball?
Because it sure ain't production.
If you look at, he hasn't played enough games to prove what he can produce.
I'll say Pedro was one of your best performers last year, besides Hazard.
Nah.
He scored a lot of important goals.
He scored 8 goals in the Premier League.
A lot of important ones.
8 goals in the Premier League in 38 games.
I know he drilled my team. Fuck that guy.
That's probably all you're using this against. Then.
Probably. But it's the same.
Goals in the Premier League.
I mean, who else scored more than that on your team? It was a Hazard show. Yeah, even your forwards. Yeah.
It says a lot.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
That is all that matters. He scored 8 goals. That's actually impressive.
Okay, but
considering.
But I've made very valid points as to like going forward. Chelsea can at least bounce somewhat.
Bounce back to what though? To third? You fucking numb?
Okay, we'll see. I'm not jumping off the shit.
None of what you just said screams third place to me. It screams you're going to be in a crisis because guess what? The Premier League is not a league where you can figure yourself out as the season wears on. Okay. What team has that ever worked out for? Did it work out for United last year? No.
It worked for us when we had Conte. We switched that formation mid-season.
I mean, okay.
Guys, you go.
Okay, but that was a team that had stars.
We're a totally different team, though.
Completely. You ain't even got Higuain I mean, he was trash when he came, but there's no competition at forward. There's no competition on the wings. There's no competition in defense. There's no competition in midfield. Literally everybody. What between who?
Once Conte comes in, Govic is not gonna be starting.
Who's he competing with though?
Conte.
He's competing. I'm saying he's not.
But basically, like he doesn't have a starting spot.
Conte does have a starting spot.
No. Kovacic doesn't have a starting spot.
Yeah, and he's not going to push anybody for one because he's not motivated to. See, that's literally the issue.
But there's still
he's an unmotivated player.
There's competition on the wings because there's Willian, Pedro, Adoy.
I don't think Willian is going to push anybody.
All those, huh?
Willian is on the down.
Once Willian starts playing bad,
he's on the decline.
The thing about Willian is once he starts saying he's bad, that's when he wants to score a goal, and that's what pisses me off every time.
Willian is good for a goal or two
when he wants.
But I don't think he's pushing Pulisic for that position.
No, he's pushing because for one, he thinks that since Hazard is gone, he's now got his number 10. He thinks he's gonna be the best player on the team now.
Did he play last game?
He didn't play.
He's injured.
He's coming back.
So that's what I'm saying. Like we have 5 key injuries.
No, but if you look at just the lineup itself, this is a totally different lineup from what we had at the beginning of last season.
Who's your top 6? Because if you got Chelsea at third, I want to know the rest of your top 6. So you got City, Liverpool, Chelsea.
Yeah, and I think I won't be surprised if we're top 4.
I'll be extremely shocked.
And then you guys will be 3rd or 4th, and then
if I'm being honest, last season we got lucky to even finish 3rd.
And then Arsenal,
everybody was bad. Last season was a back. It was a race. It was race to not be horrible.
To not be the worst.
Between Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, and United,
I've never seen a worse end to a season.
Every team was folding when they were supposed to be winning. Especially
Arsenal. They had PL looking bad.
Arsenal was the worst.
You know what I mean?
Not really. Arsenal did have a horrible away schedule.
But do not. Yeah, they had a horrible.
They kept going away.
Did you see their remaining schedule? Like they were playing against lower teams.
I know, but those are the worst teams to play.
But if you look at
because all the expectation is that you're gonna beat them.
But the thing is, if you look at like the rest of the other teams, like United and Spurs and Chelsea, like we were playing against each other.
We lost to West Ham and Southampton.
That's sad.
Hey, whose fault is that?
Y'all lost 6-0
to the best team in the EPL.
The best team the EPL has ever seen.
And they
might
I add. They had a vendetta against us.
Clearly,
because we beat them.
Because we beat them 2-0.
They're gonna have a vendetta against us next week.
Why?
Because they put
them
out of the Champions League.
Half an inch, like half a foot within being in the final. Like
I had somebody tell me that they didn't like VAR because of that. That sometimes human error should. And my question was, would you be saying that if that was against y'all?
I only don't like VAR when it's like fouls and shit like that. I'm not a fan. Offsides, yes. Why not? Why? It's because it's quick to just like.
Plus, that VAR was real quick. Like it was like as soon as like it was like something was off.
You were saying it takes too much time. I was like,
no. But I've always said I don't mind for offsides. I don't mind it.
No, you say it kills momentum. It's
but too much because when they do it for fouls and all that, because it's like you just slow down, reverse, slow down, reverse, slow down, reverse. I don't mind if it's offsides. I don't mind if it's like goal line technology, like where like just the technical ones that are just like. All right,
I think this season we'll see a lot more small teams win games due to VAR.
Yeah,
because like the way you guys robbed Cardiff last year, that can't happen again.
And also the way
because Aspie was about 90 miles offsides.
Wolves robbed City. Where would they score with the hand?
Yeah,
it's
little things like I don't mind like the obvious ones. It's just like the ones that are just like. Well, is it? And I
say the Women's World Cup made VAR look real bad, but that was due to incompetence from like the officials. Because I've never seen that many retaken penalties. I've never seen that many penalties given for dumb shit. I'm talking about like some really dumb.
For me, it's not there yet for it to just be implemented. That's why I think.
As far as VAR,
yes.
I think we're absolutely there.
I don't think it's accurate. I don't think we've mastered the execution of it yet.
I think certain referees make it look really good, and certain referees make it look really bad.
And I think that's it.
But I think it'll be the most successful in PL just because Premier League has always had a history of having like the most egregious calls that you're just like clearly this is rigged. It has to be. Like it absolutely has to be.
Where do you see Tottenham?
I think we can win the league.
No, realistically.
I think we can realistically win the league. And the reason why I say that is because we addressed 2 key issues for me. The number one issue that I had from last year was our midfield was completely depleted. Dyer was injured the whole season. Wanyama was unplayable. The guy was terrible. I think not just him. We got Lo Celso as well.
That was amazing.
It was a deflection.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
How much of a deflection?
A lot of a deflection.
It looked like it just.
It was going right to the center. It deflected.
Oh, it looked like it just curled around everybody.
It was a good hit. I like how he came into the game after that though. it showed me that
I even saw him. He was dribbling.
Yeah, he was doing flicks.
He gave somebody assist, right?
No.
Or he dribbled and then he passed it to Kane for the one that he scored outside the box.
Oh, was that him?
I think
I didn't pay attention to that assist because it was like an outside the box.
Bro, Kane's second goal just pissed me off because it was just so simple. It was so simple.
But you know what? Like,
not getting that.
But you know what? The best strikers have figured out how to like score, because scoring is not about how like you like the reason why Rashford doesn't score a lot is because he's all about form and technique. Oh, I gotta hit it true. I gotta hit it laces. I gotta make sure that it's a dipper. It's curling. Goalies eat that up all the time because it's so obvious. The best hits are those low driven to the corner or through the legs when you're thinking I'm going wide. And the best finishers, like look at Alan Shearer or Michael Owen, like they learn how to finish the most obvious, like what's his name, Ruud van Nistelrooy. Mm-hmm. Some of the best finishers, they just know how to get those easy places.
I can concede that Harry Kane's the best striker in the world now.
I don't think he's the best striker. I think he's the most complete.
Striker?
Huh?
Who's the best striker?
I think Aguero still is. I think Harry Kane is the most complete striker in the world
because he can head.
And I got dragged on Twitter for saying that last year. Mind you, somebody told me Cavani was a more complete striker, and I was going to fight my grandma.
Jesus Christ. Okay,
so this is how I see the league going. I think we can win the league, but I don't think we will. Obviously, because we don't have the consistency. We don't know how to win yet. We're still kids.
Y'all still kids.
We are still kids.
Stay kids.
Tottenham is still a child. As far as a club. Average age, all of that.
Always a child. LeBron's still a child. Mm-hmm. Tottenham's still
There's something to be said about knowing how to win, Ade. And you're king of context. How about you give a little context where it doesn't benefit you?
The thing is, those same players, like
people need to learn how to win. Cristiano had to learn how to win.
That same squad has been together for a really long time. There's no excuse at this point.
No, there is an excuse. There's a better team. There's two better teams in town.
That's what I'm saying. At this point, y'all know how to work this league. Y'all should.
The difference is they don't have the talent for it.
We're not deep enough. The talent compared to Liverpool and City. I think we have as good an 11 as anybody else.
I didn't dip no.
I think we might. Last year I thought we had the best 11. This year I think we have the second best 11.
Kevin De Bruyne running like he's.
They've lost Sane for the whole year. Sane tore his ACL.
They still got Mahrez.
But Sane.
I don't believe in Mahrez long term. Long term, I don't believe in Mahrez long term.
Sane just came in whenever. It wasn't like he was like a starter.
But he was challenging for spots.
Exactly, he really was.
Sane allowed no other wingers to have.
Silva.
Bernardo's a great player. But I don't think City have a better 11 than we do.
Really?
11. I think Liverpool has the best 11 in the league.
Do player for player.
Huh? Player for player. Oh wait, no. I think we have the best 11. I got Tottenham at 1, and then I got City.
Explain.
And then I got Liverpool. So, in terms like just starting 11. Mm-hmm. Oh wait. I might have United before I have Liverpool. And that goes towards balance. Like now, obviously, some of these teams have better players in certain positions.
Why do you say?
But I think we have a better defense than City. Which is why Pep defends from the front, because he knows like center back. All right, let's go player for player, right?
All right, go player for player.
Right back, they got Kyle Walker. We've got I'll say when healthy, we're probably going with Serge Aurier, right? Although I do like Kyle Walker-Peters because he's coming to his own a little bit. Left back, we got Danny Rose. City's got Mendy if he's healthy.
Cancelo.
Yeah, Cancelo.
He's alright, but he can play either side.
All right, so let's throw Cancelo in there, but I don't think Cancelo's better than Rose. Are we saying Cancelo's better than Rose?
He's better than Rose. I think so.
Yes.
Cancelo flopped at Juve.
Juve has a talent problem. They have too much. They didn't have too much talent.
They have just Cancelo was the right back was his, but he flopped. Let's call a spade a spade. I think so if we. I'm not agreeing that Cancelo's better than Rose, but let's say I agree. So they got a better right back and they got a better left back. We have the better center back pairing.
Not close.
I think Laporte might be better than Vertonghen.
Laporte is definitely.
But I don't think Laporte's better than Alderweireld.
Laporte's really good. Laporte had a very good season.
I think Laporte is a little gassed. Laporte had a serious meltdown that cost them the Champions League. He literally was like the reason that they're not in Champions League right now. Horrible defending.
Are we gonna use one opportunity to?
I mean, when you make mistakes like that, because the yardstick to me is Van Dijk. Van Dijk doesn't make those mistakes.
Man, that doesn't make mistakes. Period.
And he's made mistakes. He made mistakes. He made mistakes against Fulham. Late in the season, they conceded from that. He made that was the one with him and Alisson.
That ugly. They scored that free kick that shouldn't have even been a free kick in the first place. I remember that one. And was it Origi scored that goal to win the game because it was like 1-1 or something.
Yeah. Hey, Liverpool had a lot of lucky breaks last year, which is why I don't think that they can replicate their season.
A lot of penalties that should have gone their way.
Yep, they had a lot of results. Period. That I think both of their wins against us, like we had that unfortunate own goal after Sissoko could have just ended the game on the other end. And I mean, well, Liverpool. Whatever. I don't think they're replicating their season from last year. I think they'll be 3rd and 4th.
Still going team for team. So now all
right. So we have a better defense overall. I feel. I think they have a better goalkeeper because I really fancy Ederson. I don't know why. I like him a lot better than Lloris. I don't. Nobody likes him. No, he's not.
You don't think so?
No, he's not. Ederson doesn't get credit for being a goalie because he's so much else.
He doesn't like Lloris because ever since the final he's still drunk since the World Cup.
He is, but he's been drunk before that. He's still driving drunk. Midfield.
Let's not get disrespectful.
De Bruyne is better
by far by any player in your midfield.
I don't think he's that much better than Eriksen.
Did you see him running the field?
Is he that much better than Eriksen?
He was running the field.
He's better than Eriksen, but he's not that much better.
I forgot about Eriksen. Okay, but he's better than him.
They got Gundogan. He's not a starter though, right? So who would be a starting D-mid? Fernandinho. So Fernandinho. So okay, they have a better midfield. Fernandinho is better than Nobile. De Bruyne is better.
Even Rodri's good too.
Who?
The guy they just got, Rodri.
Mm-hmm. No, and he's not better than
Bernardo
Winks.
Silva is still good.
That's what I say. Are you adding?
Bernardo Silva's not a midfielder though. They play him out wide.
Around.
He can, but he doesn't typically do that.
Okay, so
we got De Bruyne, Fernandinho, and
David Silva.
David Silva is on the decline. Let's be guided. Come on.
But he's still good though.
David Silva.
He's not starting over like Gundogan or
He does start though.
What's his name? What's the other guy?
He's their captain.
I'm missing somebody. Huh?
Fernandinho?
No. Is he German?
Foden?
Huh?
Foden?
No. It's Gundogan and there's another
City's
guy.
midfield?
Yes.
De Bruyne?
No, there's another guy. I swear.
I'm lost.
I'll think about it later. Attack. They're shitting on us on the wings, so I'm not even gonna go there.
Sané. Even though he's
not Sané. Sterling.
Oh, Sterling's top 3.
Sterling's better than Son.
He's probably the best player.
That's hard to say.
Sterling is better than Son. Sterling is better than Son. It's not hard to say at all.
He is. I just don't want to concede because Son is really, really good.
Son might be better than everything else they got, but Sterling's better than Son. And I think Aguero's better than Kane.
It's a toss up.
So I think City has the better lineup. I'm tripping because they do have the better. They have the better lineup because they shit on us in midfield and attack.
And I still think their defense is still arguable.
No, I think our defense is better. Just because we have the better center back pairing.
They conceded less goals last year.
Yeah, because they defend from the front. It's a measure of their coach.
So now we want to use. I'm kidding.
We always want to use coach. That's why Lampard. That's why y'all are top 10.
That's cute.
We have a better 11 than Liverpool. I'll say that for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure, 1,000%. Because I think midfield is not even close.
Liverpool
has an embarrassing midfield.
Fabinho's
not better than Nobile.
They only have attack and defense.
Yeah,
that's it.
And really in defense, they really only have one center back, and they have attack-minded fullbacks.
Wijnaldum had a pretty good season, and Oxlade's coming back.
I hate Ade because he says such disrespectful shit.
Why you?
Chamberlain is good. Why are you talking about motherfucking Wijnaldum when I'm talking about midfield? The guy played as an auxiliary striker in the biggest game of their life. Let's be guided, please. We have a better midfield. We have a Nobile. We have Eriksen. I think Sissoko has been a very good D mid.
Van Dijk is better than all 4 of your players combined.
Van Dijk is better than Alderweireld, but not by a lot.
Oh my god.
Alderweireld doesn't make that many mistakes either, and he's not as easy to get past. He's just older. Is it by a lot? It is by a lot.
It is by a lot.
By how much? So let's use FIFA rating system.
What's the price?
If Van Dijk's probably gonna be a 92 or 91.
If Van Dijk was a 91, what do you think Alderweireld would be?
86.
He'd be at least an 88. He's been an 88.
Not 88.
He's been an 88.
It's not even this.
He was an 87 last year.
87. So he's not going. He's not better than he was the year.
So he's probably gonna stay at 87.
If anything, he'll probably go down.
He's not going down. He had a good year. So Van Dijk is 4 points better. Is that a lot? That's not a lot.
Who was 87 last year?
There weren't that many 87s.
But okay, so when
I think Laporte was like 86.
No, okay, so if he was 80, so if Vertonghen was an 87,
Van Dijk is a lot better than a lot of center backs.
He was 91 last season on FIFA.
At center back, I think probably like Sergio Ramos.
Wait.
No, Ramos for sure.
So Ramos, I mean,
maybe Boateng, but they always give him that rating for no
Boateng
reason.
was 88.
Doesn't deserve it.
He was 88. He's been on the decline. Okay, so we say all that to say that you think Tottenham's gonna end up. They could win.
I think we can challenge for the title. I don't think we're gonna win the title.
If you're gonna put your money on anything, like as a realistic person, what would you put?
My order right now, the order that I have the league like fitted, like it ends with City winning the league, us being second, and we actually give them like a run for their money a little bit. Not as much as Liverpool did, but we give them a run for their money. So we're second, and I got Liverpool third. The only reason I got Liverpool third is because I feel like Arsenal's going to shoot themselves in the foot. But I really think Arsenal has the squad to be third over Liverpool.
They do.
I think Arsenal has no excuse this season.
They have no defense.
What? Rob Holding, Mavropanos, Socrates, and now they got fucking... they got David Luiz. They got Tierney.
Okay.
Bellerin's coming back. They have no excuse. They have Leno. Leno's a really good goalkeeper. I think he's top 3.
I think they have an alright defense. I don't think it's like really good. It's just alright.
But look at the rest of the league. Who has any better besides us and City?
And Liverpool.
Liverpool have one guy.
No, they have 3 guys.
Alexander-Arnold cannot defend to save himself.
But
and Robertson's, he's been trying.
Do you know who put Alexander-Arnold on the fucking ground? Some nigga who just got promoted.
I just saw that. Who was it?
It was that Brazilian dude.
Okay,
but he
Brazilian.
did like a half a step over, and the nigga like fumbled over.
He was scared, bro. Brazilians come out the womb knowing how to.
No, the thing is, Alexander-Arnold is not good defensively, but he's so good going forward that it almost doesn't matter.
Yeah,
and it's the fact that
that's the nature of the fullback position.
The fact that they have Van Dijk who covers the whole field if he wants to.
And
great, bro. I'm gonna try to suck it.
Van Dijk is everything and
you
more.
Would want.
He's enough because
so
you can put a dud next to him and you'll be alright.
What do you think about United spending 80 for Maguire?
I think Maguire's good.
I think Chelsea.
I don't think he's Van Dijk, but I think the market just jumped that far.
I think Chelsea not performing this last week is very much giving Maguire this boost that
he did have a good game.
He had an okay game.
Guess who? Tammy Abraham.
Oh, you mean Tammy?
Tammy Laurie.
I never say Tammy. Did I say he was world class?
Tammy had one good year in championship, and niggas thought he was next.
Who said that? Like, I want to hear who these niggas are.
The niggas were calling for him back. Him and Boucher.
We had no choice but to call people back
because you don't have options.
Because we're bad.
He's better than Giroud.
I'll say that, yeah.
What's that? Like, I didn't get what were you supposed to rile?
Hey, Chelsea is really bad. The state of your club. Really? The state of you guys. But the thing is, I don't know what you thought I was coming here to argue. I'm not arguing that you're underachieving. I'm arguing that you suck. So when you say, "Oh, look at who started for us," that's the point. Yeah, that's the joke.
How does that make me feel bad? I already know we suck.
That's the point. I'm a constant reminder, and this guy thinks you're going top 3.
I'll feel disrespected if like we're actually good and you're saying we're trash. I know we're trash.
Exactly, but that's the point. When you suck, it feels good for us to tell you how much you suck.
It doesn't make me feel worse than I already do.
I still am staying with what I said.
You think you're gonna be top 3
or top 4?
You're almost like an Arsenal fan at this point.
No, I'm not, because I'm used to actually performing every year.
No, actually, no. That's the opposite. You guys are a wishy-washy team. You either win the league or you finish 10th.
We've had like the most trophies out of everybody.
Yeah, because you win it and then you like go on hiatus for like 2 years and then come back and win it again.
At least I'm used to winning.
When's the last time y'all won?
But we.
I don't want to hear that.
No, but we have won.
Y'all haven't won trophies.
anytime
you open the portal,
no.
Anytime you open the portal and go back in the past, even if it's one day, you open up the entire past. Have we won?
This ICC Cup, you guys won the summer desert.
Have we won top flight English division? Have we won the top flight English division cup?
What does that even mean?
Yes, we have. Before it was named the Premier League, we won it.
Wait,
but I'm saying when you go back in the past,
when the Stone Age is, bro.
Wait, what was it?
When you open up,
is it the ABA League?
Okay. My thing is, this is the definition of moving the goalpost. When you open up the past and you want to talk about shit that you've accomplished in the past, you open up the entire past. You can't restrict it. Oh, in the last 20 years. Oh, between 06 and 09. Because anybody can finagle it to fit their narrative.
But you can say it's been a really, really long time before y'all last won. I wasn't even.
Okay, I'll accept that.
Okay.
I'll accept, but I'll take consistency.
They haven't won in your whole life.
I'll take the consistency.
In your whole lifetime, never won.
I'll take the consistency.
You have supporting a team that's never won.
I'll take the consistency of the last 5 years over you guys' sporadic winning here and there. I'll take that anytime.
It's been a consistent spread.
You guys haven't been consistent.
Yeah,
it's been consistent.
You've had a season where you finished 10th in the last 5 years.
It's a consistency.
You finished 10th in the league.
We won Europa last season and then won FA Cup the year before, right?
Yeah. That's inconsistency.
And then,
I mean, the past 3 years, we won a trophy each year, right?
Y'all can't say
no,
that.
You didn't win. You didn't win a trophy in the season you finished 10th.
No, that was in the past 3 years.
It was the past 5 years.
Conte to before Conte.
That was Mourinho.
So
you finished 10th and you won nothing.
And then we won because Conte was there how many years?
2 years.
2 years. We won that year, right? And we won the year after we won FA Cup.
That's 5 years, dude. That's exactly what I'm saying.
I said 3 years.
Why are you restricting it? This is my point. I said I'll take the consistency of the last 5 years since Porsche's been there.
What?
Of being in.
So you're always going to be hoping that y'all win?
No, we're always a major player.
When do you?
There's always. Hey, don't be dishonest because you're laughing.
No, but
don't be dishonest. There's always one point in the season, every season in the last 5 years where you're like, could Tottenham win the league?
No, but Ephraim, when's the last time you woke up? Damn, we really won the Champions League last night, or something like that.
We were in the Champions League final.
Just because you were in
it. And the next day, what'd you wake up saying?
Saying, "Damn, we really were in the Champions League final." Yo, the thing is, I'm not upset that we lost that because we never even should have been there. I'm still amazed that we were there.
As long as you know,
because you're not worthy to win anything.
You guys have won some shit that you weren't worthy to win. Let's be honest.
You said what?
Your one Champions League win, boy.
What about
didn't deserve that?
Our what?
Didn't deserve that.
Our what? What didn't we deserve?
The one win.
At the end of the day, okay. We made the most of it.
I'm just saying. So people don't always win shit that they deserve. Yeah. Nor do people always lose when they deserve to have win.
We all the time you lose.
No, that's not true. Unless you're restricting it to a certain amount, we've won trophies. Poch hasn't won anything. I think he will.
I think.
Are you going to bet against them?
Hold on. This will be the last point. This will be the last point.
Not at Tottenham?
This will be the last point. If Poch doesn't win anything this season, I think he's gone.
If he lives on his own accord.
Not because he's bad. I think he will leave on his own accord.
I think he wanted to leave this year. I think the only reason he didn't leave was because he didn't win the Champions League. I don't think Poch makes or breaks us.
He's a really good coach.
He's great. But guess what? We don't lose Poch and 10 players at the same time. It's not gonna happen.
Kane's gonna want to leave.
I don't think so.
He's gonna want to leave.
He's
who?
He's gonna go to Madrid.
No. Apart from that, who's better? The thing when Eriksen was gonna leave and he was gonna go to United, everyone was like, "Yeah, that's a downgrade." No one could have said that 5 years ago.
He wanted to go to Madrid. He's always wanted to go to Madrid, but they didn't have
the
funds.
But even Madrid, can you really say that's much of an upgrade?
Yeah.
Hey, Hazard is about to go through it this year.
Yeah, their team sucks right now, but I'm saying the club itself.
Why
do play for Real Madrid?
Why do we
on
always
that jersey?
You're not playing.
That's a player's dream.
Wait, is that really true or is that like propaganda? Because I always hear this player, everybody want to play for Real. Does everybody really want to play for Real?
Bro, no. This is the thing. No,
I think it's low key boosted.
It's not everyone.
A lot of these kids didn't grow up seeing the Galacticos.
But I'm saying a lot of these players grew up liking these teams. That's why.
No,
guys like Hazard.
What is Eriksen's tied to Madrid? It's a money thing.
No, but
it's literally a career thing. That's all it is.
So he just picked Madrid of all teams for no reason.
Because they're gonna pay him what he needs to.
Yeah. United can pay him what he needs to too.
United's not competing with Real for money.
You saw what they did with Sanchez.
But it's because they got him on the free. He was a straight swap. The same thing Juve does. I just read a whole thread about how Juve's transfer policies, why they keep getting all these good players. Because they'll get you on the free so they can pay you an ass ton. And who's not taking 500 fucking thousand a week? I'm taking it.
Man, that's probably.
Bro, they are paying motherfucking Khedira 160,000 quid.
Sterling pounds.
Khedira hasn't played 90 minutes in like 5 years. Not even for like the youth
fun.
team.
This was fun.
I want my closing argument to be about Messi.
All right, go real quick, man. Oh,
I prepared a mini soliloquy.
all right, man.
When you're the GOAT of your sport, and we harken back to Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan, Cristiano Ronaldo, Roger Federer, I guess, Jack Nicklaus, because I don't consider Tiger the GOAT of golf because his prime didn't last long enough. When you're the GOAT of your sport,
Never mind. I almost said something very wild that I didn't need to.
Tom Brady. When you're the GOAT of your sport, you do things to affect the game. Now, let me take out all the individual sports, right? The guys who like tennis or golf that don't count. Team sports. When you're
not all team sports are the same. First of all,
this is a soliloquy. That means me.
Just letting you know.
When you're the GOAT of your sport, you do things to affect the game, right? Even if it is a team game, ultimately. I think the ultimate team game isn't soccer. It's football. The NFL. Because literally,
and then soccer.
It don't matter how good you are as a quarterback. If that line can't protect you, rip.
I'm about to leave.
Why?
So, here's my argument. It don't matter how good you are as Lionel Messi, but if that backline can protect you,
I'm building up. I'm trying to tell you what I'm saying, but you can affect the game. No, now Tom Brady
can score, have 500 yards, 3 touchdowns, and still lose the Super Bowl.
Right, but that's an anomaly. Right, throughout his career, it's been odd when that happens, and that was largely due to Malcolm Butler being benched. For whatever fucking reason, I still think Belichick is fucking crazy. But how do you bench your best player?
You just said it's a team sport. And
yeah. I mean, defensively, yeah, they sucked on defense because he couldn't cover the best receiver. Where am I going with this? When you're the GOAT of your sport, you affect the game. Win, lose, or draw. Mm-hmm. No one is holding losing against Messi, and that's what Messi stands failed to realize. No one has ever held losing against Messi. If anything, people have given him all the excuses in the book. What we hold against Messi, the supposed GOAT of his sport, is that he fails to affect the game when they lose.
I agree. I said that.
When you're the GOAT of your sport, you affect the game. Win, lose, or draw.
I said my problem isn't that Messi loses. My problem is that Messi doesn't go out without a fight.
Messi's the most talented soccer player we've probably ever seen.
Not most. He just is.
What do you mean?
Sorry, not probably. He just is.
No, I said we've probably ever seen because we might see something else.
Okay, eventually.
So far, Messi is the most talented. He has the highest IQ. He has the greatest skill set available. And he has the greatest potential to impact the game on any given night. Like, if it's just a random 11, who's going to affect the game more? It's probably Messi. But when his back is against the wall, when his team needs him the most, like the Avatar, he goes missing. Even the basic things he can't do right. Remember the World Cup final against Germany? Missed 2 1-on-1s left-footed. Any other day, he's eating that up. Against Liverpool, missed a 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper where he took 3 unnecessary touches. Why? Is it because it's Alisson? I don't know. Maybe. But the point is, when his team needs him the most, when they have 3-goal leads and they go to the opposition's building and they need him to pull something out offensively, your man goes missing. He doesn't affect the game in the same way. You're not the GOAT. You're a great player. You're going to go down as one of the best to ever lace the boots, but you're not the GOAT. The GOAT is Cristiano Ronaldo because every time his team has ever needed him, win, lose, or draw, he affects the game in some way, shape, or form. And people say he's been on the decline. Oh, he can't pass the ball as well as Messi does. Or he can't facilitate his teammates as well as Messi does. But guess what? When their backs are against the wall, there's no one greater. At home, we smash them. He called that before he went to Atletico and dropped 3 in an elimination game. He scored home and away against Ajax. Even though they lost, he affected every goal they scored in the knockout stages was Cristiano last year. Juventus. They didn't even have him the year before. He comes on a new team and scores all of their knockout stage goals. That's what goals do. Win, lose, or draw, any weather, any country, any league, any team, any setup, any coach, you affect the game. And that's why Messi's not the GOAT. And that Copa America bullshit that you were trying to Brazil has the better team. What? Brazil's not better than Argentina. They're not just conclusively better than Argentina. That's an even game.
What we did with
when you have a GOAT like that,
when we did 11v11, like
Messi's so much better than anybody else on Brazil that they're already starting off at a deficit.
I agree with that, but I agree that he's better than everybody else. But I just think like
you got Ever Banega, you got motherfucking Banega's a good player. You got.
I don't even want to go.
Do we want to do 11 for 11?
No, I don't. There's no use. They already lost. They already lost. Finish your soliloquy.
My soliloquy ends like this. Messi is one of the most gifted soccer players we've ever seen, and he's a joy to watch. I personally love playing with him on FIFA because he's a cheat code.
Not more than Ronaldo.
But mentality-wise, that's a reason why LeBron's not the GOAT of basketball to me. He's the most talented player, but he's not the GOAT. And ever so often, matter of fact, almost always, the most talented player is not the GOAT. Aaron Rodgers is way more talented than Tom Brady. He's not the GOAT. Tom Brady is. LeBron is way more talented than Michael Jordan ever could dream of being. But he's not the GOAT. Jordan is. Messi is infinitely more talented than Ronaldo. Ronaldo could only dream of being half as talented as Messi. Matter of fact, you can go back to when they were both young. Messi was miles ahead. But he's not the GOAT. Ronaldo is. Because when push comes to shove, when your back is against the wall, GOATs affect the game. That's it.
I agree with all your points except Messi's not the GOAT.
Can't be the GOAT.
At the end of the day, we'll come back when their career is over.
No, their career is, we know now.
We don't know now.
Messi's not doing anything to reinvent the wheel. He's stacking the deck right now. It's still not going to work.
Well,
do you got Barcelona winning the Champions League? Can you say that confidently?
Hey, they get Neymar.
Even if they got Neymar. He's only going to stay healthy until June.
This was very
I mean, he's not going to stay healthy until June.
Was too fun, honestly. Ephraim, thank you for coming.
And I'll be back when y'all lose every game, every big game this year because I don't see Lampard beating anybody.
Okay.
Right. I don't see that man beating anybody in the top 6.
In fact, I'll bring you and Chooks back.
I do want to talk to Chooks because Arsenal.
Chooks say they finished at 3rd.
He said they finished in 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Arsenal finishing 3rd. Only if we finish 2nd.
No. Like I said, I will definitely bring you and Chooks back.
Shout out to Arsenal, by the way. They did the damn. They finessed everybody. That 45 million bullshit. That was the smartest play I've ever seen in my life.
But you better live up to it.
Huh?
You better live up to it.
They're doing a payment plan.
That's a lie.
That's
a lie. It's a negotiation tactic. What was the first thing Emery did when he came in January? He said, "Oh, we don't have any money to buy. Only loan. And guess what? They got what's his name on loan? Dude from Barca.
That's
Denis Suarez. And then they got who else they got? I don't know. They got 2 guys.
In January they got 2 people?
Yeah, they got 2 people. And then in the summer he said, "Oh, we have a budget. Can't go over 45 million. We can't afford Zaha." Whole time they were looking at Pepe. Bro, it's a negotiation tactic. Man, you need to learn that. They keep bragging about how much money they got. That's why niggas is taxing you. That's why you pay 80 million for Maguire. Don't you see my guy? We went a whole year without signing just to prove to niggas, hey, we won't overpay for shit. Sell us the cheap ones.
Yeah.
How much did we get on Dombele for? 55? 60?
I thought it was more.
Nah.
That was like 70.
I don't think it was 70. I think it was like 50, 60. You got to learn how to negotiate.
So Sessegnon gonna be good?
I think he is. He's only 18. People wrote him off after 1 season at 18, and he's blistering fast. The guy's fast as hell. And he's good with the ball. I think Putch can do a madness with him. I think if Putch could get the best out of Dele Alli with his skill set, I think he's gonna do a madness with Ryan Sessegnon. Just look out for him this year.
I just try to figure out why all these players going to Spurs when they know they're not winning nothing. But it's whatever.
Don't respond.
No need to.
All right, my name is Adedina.
I'm Melvin Yagaka.
We are Cream, and we'll see you guys later.